And this is the correct one. Why did that pop up? Okay, so welcome to The Truth Runs Deep. My name is Terryn,
I'm Kalli.
and we're here to talk to you today about all things law and order, SVU, and organized crime. We also write fan fiction and whatever else happens in our lives. So
And
today
yeah, we do
we are
all
talking
three
about,
shows now, so
yeah, we do. So, today
we'll
we are,
explain why later.
yeah, it's their fault.
There's
Today we are,
reason. There's reason.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Do we want to
today
just
we are talking about the like real season premieres per
yeah.
show instead of the
I know everyone
crossovers
was
that
like
last
calling
week.
it. Yeah, everybody, even the actors are like, it's premiere night. And I'm like,
Yeah,
technically it's episode 2, but it's like solo premiere, so premiere night.
yeah, everyone's solo premiere was last night. Uh,
Yeah.
it's also International Podcast Day. As of the
So
day we're
we
recording this any day, September
so
30th
we
is
had to
National
record.
Podcast Day. So
I'm like trying to make sure my shirt doesn't look weird because it always look if you like get like half of it, it looks very weird. But
mhm.
okay,
uh,
that's not important. But I'm rambling
yeah,
as usual. All right.
yeah.
Um.
So I
So
think
let's
we're
start.
ready.
Go in order.
I forgot
Um.
to title the episode. I have to look it up real quick
Oh,
for
I
Law and
know what
Order. I
it
had
is.
the other
It's
time.
called The Impossible Dream.
Oh yeah, you're right. Because I don't remember what
I
it was called.
googled it.
I know I watched it
More
earlier
recent.
today.
Yeah, I watched it Thursday. Taryn watched them all half
Well,
Thursday today and
it
today.
did. It made it. Whatever, mind. I won't spoil it. It made it slightly worse the second time. But we won't talk about that. Not right now. Not yet. Not that.
Yeah, no, I can't
Episode's
watch
good. The
that.
experience. The experience. We'll get there, y'all. We'll get there. Don't worry. We'll talk about that
Yeah,
later.
no. Okay, so
Oh,
we start with
this is called Battle Lines. Law and
which
Order's
one?
episode's called Battle Lines.
Oh, is that the next one though?
I don't know the next one. I forgot to put I put the next one's not called that either because I put it in the thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let me Google it.
I don't know what episode that is, but it's one of them. Next week is Vicious
Interesting.
Cycle for
One
anyway.
order. Um, Let me Google real fast, see which one we got.
Peacock called it Battle Lines.
Yeah,
So
I'm getting mixed up because when I went to go like watch the episode again, I clicked on an episode and I was like, this is not last night.
this
So
is not what.
so I was wrong. The episode is not called The Impossible Dream. It's called Battle Lines, which makes sense, honestly, with the
Mhm.
titles. All right. Um, so the first thing we see in the episode is like this girl, long girl, like in the middle of the city. She's on her phone, trying to find this location. Um, she's getting like half catcalled, half these guys are trying to show her dance moves for whatever reason.
Yeah,
And then they
it's
all
me.
surrounded her, and it was like, it's gonna go bad fast. Um, it didn't. She got it, escaped, and then like ended up on a bridge. Somebody like tapped her on the shoulder. She turned around. You see her smile, and then the smile drops really fast. And then next thing we know, she's dead and bleeding on the concrete. Yep.
Yep.
Okay, hold on. I gotta mute for a second. Keep talking. I'll be
Okay.
right back.
I didn't detail very well the first part, but because I trusted you to do that. So I'm alone. Oh, not really. But I didn't
I
detail
mean,
the beginning because I don't remember that. I have to
I
quickly
let
check.
you because I was literally like, because I knew you weren't here, and I was literally typing everything
Yeah, because I was like,
so I
I
could
was
tell you and get stuff. Okay.
yeah, I was doing stuff I didn't want to do, but I was there. It's okay.
We literally just get to Cosgrove, and yes, I remember this time. His name is Cosgrove,
We've written
not
his name
Donovan.
8 million times. So if you've
Cosgrove.
forgotten, we've literally written his name like 8 million times.
Cosgrove.
Anyway, we'll talk about fan fiction later. Sorry. We jumped the wagon.
Cosgrove and
My slushy
Shaw
mouth,
show up
and that was gross.
to the scene. Shaw is now officially a part of the 2-7. Yay. We love McCall already, so that's awesome. Um, they had said their description of the attacker from witnesses is like a white male. And so there's this white, like, patrol officer in the park who's like literally stopping frisking a black man. And Shaw is like, I love that they put this in. I mean, it was like didn't have anything to do with the case, but it was like important to show who Shaw is as a character. That even though he is a cop, he's a black man first and foremost. Um, and so he walks over to the officer and he's like, "The description was a white male. What are you doing?" And the officer is trying to like make this excuse, and he's basically like, don't really have any of like the quotes and the details. Basically, Shaw stood up for another black man because like he had nothing to do with the case, and he was being um would profile be the correct word to use in this kind of situation?
Yes.
Okay, just checking. Okay, yeah, so he's basically being profiled, even though he had nothing to do with the case because the description was a white male. And Shaw was basically like, "You need to stop and let him go." Um, again, nothing to do with the case. I just thought it was important. There's more stuff that happens. I don't remember, but the next big thing we find out is that the girl who died, her name is Becca, and she is the daughter of the governor of Texas. Big deal.
Yeah.
Even Dixon is like, "Oh God," because apparently the guy was all on like Fox News like last
Yeah.
night.
I mean,
Um,
fairly accurate to the real governor of Texas. I don't have much trouble saying it. Anyway.
you
Oh well.
are incredibly muffled right now.
But why is this the wrong? This is about
Why is this not working?
Okay, now you're back.
There we go. Okay.
Um,
I was saying, what did I say? Oh, I said he's kind of like the real governor of Texas, but I might get in trouble for saying that. But, oh well.
girl, do you
Oh,
think we care? They
no,
probably
we
did
do
that
a
on
lot of
purpose.
things. They did. They were like, they looked at the man and said, "Ooh, we can make it sweet." So,
They did a
oh, it's
lot of
fun like
this.
that.
Like literally, this
Bro,
episode is ripped
literally
from the
about
headline.
next
This stuff
SVU is
happened maybe
literally,
like weeks ago, and they already wrote an episode about it. So,
yeah, literally next week's SVU is something that happened for real, but they changed it a little bit.
um, yeah. So they
Anyway,
find
back to
out
Lola.
to go talk to like the governor and his family. Um, the governor is like basically like, we're gonna find whoever did this to our daughter. Um, we find out that she was here in New York, presumably on a college tour at, I think it was either Tompkins or Thompson University. Not that that's not important. Um, wait, hold up. Yep. Um, yeah. No, like we're gonna figure out whoever did this to your daughter. They go through. Oh, actually, first before they even find out who this is, they find a guy in the park who's running with the bright pink purse that Becca had. They find it. It's empty. It's not him. They go back to the precinct, find out who Becca is, then the rest of the stuff. They go through like security footage in the park again, and they find this guy in a baseball cap with like running with what looks like the contents of Becca's purse. So they find out his address. They go find him. The guy like runs, gets mad. Um, I see like Shaw going up the stairs with his gun, and my first thought is, we literally just got this guy. Please don't
Yes.
get shot. Let him get shot already.
No, not already.
Daddy gets the perp comes from a door and then hits him with a chair, which breaks and knocks Shaw down the stairs. And I'm like, I didn't want to predict this. Please let him be okay. Cosgrove like runs up the stairs. I think another thing to notice is Cosgrove did a lot of running in this
He
episode.
did. He was zooming.
He gets out of breath fast. I mean, fair enough. He's older than Shaw, but I feel like that's gonna be a problem somewhere down the line.
Mhm.
He's like making sure Shaw's okay. Shaw's basically like, go get him.
Mhm.
He finds the guy. He runs on the roof, and he's like, "All right, you got two options. You come with me right now," and the guy, and two, and then the guy jumps off the roof, and then Cosgrove is like, "Why two?" Which I thought was funny because he's basically like,
Mhm.
"Now I gotta chase this guy
Yes.
down the roof." The guy like chases, like jumps off these like platforms of the roofs, and he ends up on the street, and he thinks he's home free, and then Shaw is standing right there,
Mm-hmm.
which I thought
He
was
thought he
funny
was
because
slick.
he got the last laugh.
Yep, that's a
Um,
good scene. I enjoyed that scene.
yeah, they arrest the dude. Um, he basically is like, I didn't do anything. I was running because I was already late, got let out late for my first job, and was running late for my second job. Um, so they find out he doesn't have anything to do with it. Um, I think that's when we see the press conference that I mentioned earlier, and then they talk to the family. And at first, thought it was the boyfriend, just because literally in the only thing I was like, oh, all the families dressed really nicely, and the boyfriend is not.
It's true. I
No,
feel like there was
all I
something
had to do
about
was
that. They tried to throw us off at the beginning, and then that wasn't even like it.
yeah. Um, then they do some more research and they find out that Becca has not been going to any for college tours, and that her like college like tour, like basically like buddy for a weekend or whatever, is having to cover for her going to classes and everything. Um, they find out Becca has been meeting with a woman, and Cosgrove is like, "Oh shit," because this is one of the women that was a witness in the park. Um, they find out from the woman that Becca was pregnant
Mm-hmm.
and wanted an abortion, and that the father was the boyfriend, and that's the real reason why she was in New York, not really for college. She like masked it as college, but really she came to get an abortion because she's like 17. Her whole life was just beginning. She wasn't ready to have a baby. Um, Dixon gets mad because the woman is like, "Why didn't you telling the woman like why didn't you tell any of this before? We are trying to find the person who killed um this girl." Then Cosgrove and Shaw head to the abortion clinic where Becca was. Um, I forget the exact details, and I wish I wrote the quotes down because it was a good scene. They were basically talking about like their views on abortion.
Mm.
Um, Cosgrove basically started off with like, my daughter's 17. So now we know the age of both of his daughters. Lily is 15, and we don't know the
Mm.
name of the other one, but she's 17. He also says he's Catholic. There's some more. Shaw says something about it sounds like you're against this or whatever. Cosgrove says something that's basically like no. But from the ways of it, from well, I don't have all the details of the conversation. From what we got, it sounds like Shaw is very much, it's not up to me. It's the woman's choice. Cosgrove is a bit more up in the air, I'd say,
Mm.
because
The Catholic Church has a stance on
okay,
abortion. Some
but
denominations do, and
also
some don't.
I feel like maybe this is just speaking or like some of the from what we got. Um, knowing that he's a father of two daughters, I feel like this would be an issue that's personal to him, but also very difficult for him to figure out.
We'll talk about
Then
this
we
later.
find out
We'll talk about fan fiction. We'll talk about this later because I think it kind of goes along with what
yeah,
we've been working
definitely
on.
ties in. Um, so we find out they talk to the family again. The family had no idea that that's why she came for. we found out the boyfriend wanted her to get the abortion because he wasn't ready to be a father. It was Becca's choice. And he was fine with it. All that. Then we find out that the only all the family had like recently flown in from Texas. The only person who didn't fly in with the family was the brother. He was already here when Becca was, and we're like, and the pieces start coming together that it might be the brother.
Yep.
And
I did kind of think that for a second. I was like, what if it was her brother or her dad?
Well,
That's too SVU-ish
yeah.
to be kind of weird.
Because
That's an SVU type
the
working.
first question that Frank and Cosgrove ask the dad, it's like, where were your whereabouts
Yep,
when this
they're
happened?
like,
There's some more stuff.
Mhm.
Then we get to Price, and it's basically like
No.
we find out how crazy this stuff is because Price says that Becca's mom hacked into her period tracker
Yeah.
and she knew that she was pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is a whole bunch of stuff I saw on TikTok that's basically like they will
I did
hack
read
into
about
your,
that. Yeah, the government has the right to hack your period up if
which is fucking insane.
definitely
Um,
is. Which is a while a lot of companies are kind of off topic, but I was into this because I use various different apps because
they
I just
brought
like
it
the
up
window.
on the show for a reason.
Yeah. Yeah, but like a lot of companies were like, companies who own period tracking apps were like, we are not selling your government the information. That's not something we're going to do. So a lot of them like remade their apps so that the government can't do that without permission, which I think is
Yeah.
fascinating.
Yeah, but just like, but there are literally messages going all over the place.
Yeah.
It's basically telling women to delete their period trackers because the
Yeah.
government will use it to figure out if you're pregnant. And then if you're pregnant and you want to get an abortion, tough luck.
Yeah. Yeah. Some places say it's illegal because they'll make it so you can't eat. It's a
But the
problem.
fact that her own mom hacked into her phone to find out information on her period tracker. Frick.
Yeah,
If it's not already clear, this entire family, because
it's
they're
the
from Texas, is
southern,
very
very
Mexican,
southern,
conservative, southern,
very southern.
real life.
I live in the South, so like I can very honestly say most people are like those people. Well, not most, but quite a few people, even like I see on a regular basis, are like that. So
I went to
like,
I went to a Christian college. It's very much a big thing down there.
yeah, yeah. But my school is it's a Christian school. It's not really. It's a Methodist liberal arts school. So like, we don't have the exact same like strictness, but kind of. But I really don't have that much restriction or anything. But
And then, as if it
yeah, but
wasn't bad already. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I'm
Go
done.
ahead.
That's all I had.
Okay.
I don't
As
have anything
if
else.
it wasn't okay. As if it wasn't bad already. They have text exchanges between the mom and the brother calling Becca again. I said this last episode. I don't like saying these words, but it's quotes to the show, so I have to.
Are you at that part already? Oh, this is going quickly through this episode. I was like, were they already?
Yeah, a lot happened really
It
fast.
did. We're like the 30 minutes, like halfway through the episode. I was like, we're at the halfway part already.
Yeah, I was like, what? Anyway, so we
That's
found
like
out that
halfway through the episode.
Becca's mom, I think her name was Barbara. I don't remember. Barbara
Yes,
and
it
the
was.
brother.
Anyway,
What?
that's not being goofy. I'm fine. I've had a lot of, I don't know, I've had a lot of sugar today. I feel kind of
I had
energized.
McDonald's, two sandwiches
Did
from
not.
McDonald's and caffeine. I'm here.
I ate some food. I had a slushie
Anyway,
yesterday, but it melted. So now it's just disgusting looking in this cup. It used to be a slushie.
that's a
Oh,
slushy?
it used to be a
Doesn't
slushie.
even look like a slushy.
I put it
It
in
looks
the
like
fridge. I put it in the fridge. I was like, I'll drink it later, and then I forgot. So it was in the fridge the whole night instead of the freezer.
it
So
looks
no, it is
like
not a
it
slushie.
looks like kombucha juice.
There's like, yeah, it's a really gross color. Now it was, what was it? It was lemon strawberry from Sonic because I went to Sonic yesterday. And there's like they have like the popping bubbles at Sonic too, and they're green. So then it turned it this color. No, it tastes good
All
still,
right.
but that was a gross color. Anyway, Also, I got this cup in the mail and it made
Anyway,
me happy, which is why I'm using it. Anyway, sorry. I have very
yeah,
scattered
so
friends.
basically they're texted exchanges
Oh my
between Barbara and Blake
Is it?
that
Yeah, his name is Blake.
call Becca they both called Becca their
Mhm.
own daughter and sister a slut and a whore.
They sure did. I was like, yeah.
What the
They were like,
hell?
yeah. Southerners are quite something when it
They were
comes
literally,
to.
yeah, they were literally like full on direct, didn't
Mm,
even hide it. They're like, she's a slut, she's a
yeah,
whore
yeah.
because she got an abortion, or no, actually because she
She
got
got
pregnant and
pregnant.
then um. So because of that, Nolan wants to put the mom on the stand.
Yeah.
Oh, well, before this, we find out that indeed, because of witnesses, it is the brother.
They saw it happen.
So they arrest him. Um, then they find out about the text exchanges, and Price wants to put the mom up as a witness or like as part of his case. And McCoy's warning him. He's like, "You really want to do this? You really want to put grieving mother up on the stand?" And it's basically like, "Yes, she's our case." Um, and I kept saying this over and over again. It makes me wonder if are Sam and Nolan like partners, or is he first chair and she's like second chair?
Mm.
Because he did all the questioning in this episode, and on the whole time I'm like,
Yeah,
feel
they
like
could have
with
done
a
it. Yeah, I still let Sam handle this
case
whole
like
that.
this, it should have been Sam doing more of it. Not to
A
say
little
that she
bit
didn't have
both.
an yeah,
Yeah,
they could have done both. Not to say that
yeah.
she didn't have an
We love
important
them. We'll talk about
job,
that.
because she did, and we'll get to that later.
Yeah.
So anyway, we transition to court. And Nolan's questioning the mom, and he's getting like pretty into it. I mean, rightfully so. A 17-year-old girl is dead. But at one point, the mom starts crying and says, "I just lost my daughter and my grandchild." And you see Nolan stop, look at the jury. I'm assuming remembering what McCoy told him, and he starts like tripping over his own words. And I was like, "Oh my god, he's stuck. He doesn't know what to do. Never seen that before." Um, and then he's like nothing further, and he's basically like, "Oh crap, what did I just do?" He felt bad. Murder case or not, he still felt bad because the mom literally did just lose her daughter and her grandchild at the
Mhm.
same time, because Becca did get the abortion, and now Becca's dead. Um, the next scene is Sam, Samantha on the phone
Mhm.
trying to call their next witness, which is the woman that Becca has been talking about too while she was in New York, who went to help her get an abortion. The woman's name is Drea, and she works at this like company or for this foundation or whatever
Yeah.
that
It's
helps
like a secret organization.
women. She's from Texas, and it helps women like who need or want to get an abortion come here, come not come here, go to New York to get the abortions. Um, and so she like clearly saw that it was Blake who killed his sister, and Samantha's like trying to call her because she's up next to testify. What is going on? She comes and she's like, "I can't testify," and Sam's like, "What?" And then commercial. Then we come
What
back.
was a commercial?
Was it a commercial?
Probably.
I don't know. Anyway, it was probably a break. Anyway, we come back, and Price and Sam are talking to McCoy in his office, and they're like, "Drea has invoked her Fifth Amendment rights to prevent self-incrimination," and McCoy is like, "What do you mean?" And it turns out, with the new laws and everything, this is where the ripped from the headlines things
Mhm.
are coming from. That there are laws now in our country that in certain states, if you help a woman cross over state lines to get an abortion, you can go to prison.
Yeah, definitely.
Like,
It's a
and there was like he still isn't getting it, and I don't remember all the things they said, but basically, first off, surprised that he didn't know this could also make sense.
Yeah.
He's kind of just like in a supervising role, also with his
Yeah.
age. Maybe he wouldn't
Yeah.
know. But Price and Maroon, I think it's
yeah, yeah,
anyway, Price and Maroon are basically telling him it's basically because she's a minor and she helped Becca come here.
Yeah.
It's like she's kidnapped her.
yeah.
Hold on, I gotta do something real fast. So let's see, what's the next thing, and I'll get started talking on it. I was like, this isn't looking good. Then they transitioned to the trial of the
Mhm.
next witness, Simone Richards. Um, she saw things. It's funny. I love how she was answering. It was kind of funny. I was like, for sure, I thought
Oh yeah,
the
she
judge.
was real cool. She's a cool girl. I was like,
I for sure thought the judge was gonna like say stuff about how she was answering.
yeah.
And then the defense attorney is like, um, calls her out on it, like that she's like biased against the client, his client and their family. Um, and this, I guess, definitely shows Price's perspective on this issue because he immediately jumps up and he's like, "You don't have to share this." And then Simone is like, "It's not a secret," and she turns to the jury in the whole courtroom and says that she had an abortion. One second, I'm just helping my mom with something. Yep, she had an abortion. Um, um, and then basically, yeah, she saw Blake kill Becca. We get that it was just, I just thought it was very powerful that she's like admitting that she has one, saying it's not a secret, it's not something
Yeah.
that she's like ashamed of, it's something that she needed to do for whatever reason that she needed to do it. And then the
And what other
president,
show didn't give her a reason? I think that's
yeah,
a
no,
very.
they're just like, it
I
just,
love it.
I had one.
Yeah.
That's a definitely important thing because in past they brought it up and like there's been a reason. Now with everything going on,
Yeah.
she didn't have one. It doesn't have to. Um, Prosecution rests, and then there's like this cute thing. I don't know, this happened like twice in the episode,
Oh yeah.
and this is where
Yes.
everything happens. So,
Let's talk about them when we finish this episode.
Sam like has like both times he like ended his questioning, did like side notes to him and was like complimenting him while she's putting her briefcase away. Yay. I literally wrote Sam continuously supporting Nolan. Do we want to say it now or do we want to wait till the end?
Finish talking about the episode. We'll talk about the rest of this episode, then we'll pick it up.
Okay.
And then we'll go.
All right. Anyways, then we get to Blake testifying.
Yeah.
And man, tables turning fast because he's like basically like he feels so bad. His sister's dead.
You killed her.
But then he says it's not him. That it's Drea who did it. He took his sister to get an abortion, killing her unborn child, and she got mad that Becca could have possibly told about her society and got her in trouble. So Drea pushed her off the bridge. And it was like, well, man, she's got to testify now, or her whole thing is screwed. And then this is where Sam's important job came in. She didn't cross-examine Blake like I think she should have. But she goes to talk to Drea at a bar. And I'm like, I don't know why I wrote this down. Side note, she drinks whiskey or scotch. Because she was at the bar, like a drink in a glass that looked like it. And I'm like, we're going to go with it. I'm going to write it down.
I think she
just in
named
case.
what she had. I think she's named what she had. That was the second time, I think.
We got to look.
She was at the bar more than
I don't
once. I
remember.
think she said what she asked for. She asked for some sort of tequila, but I forgot what she said it was called. I
Fancy.
watched it earlier.
like-
today. I really watched it earlier today. That's why I can remember. She had some
Okay,
sort of
well,
tequila.
if it's
Anyway.
tequila, I feel like it's good. Anyway, and how they're like, basically, we need you to testify, or Becca's whole thing is done. I wrote down a few quotes that were important, and it said, if you don't testify and basically he's found not guilty, Becca will be the cautionary tale to scare the woman that if you go get an abortion, something bad is going to happen to you. Type thing. That if you get an abortion, you're gonna end up dead somehow. And they get into this whole conversation about religion. And Sam was like, well, because Drea's like, if I testify, people are going to know what I do. And she lives in Texas. If people in Texas know this is what she's doing,
It's not gonna be good for them.
no. And then they have the conversation about religion, and Sam was like, well, religion does live a murder. I forget what Drea said before, or maybe it was like, I don't have a choice or something like that.
Oh, she said that like her whatever she's like whatever she didn't really say what religion she had or like spiritualness or whatever, but she says what I believe convicts me of doing what I need doing what I'm doing. It's something like that what she said.
Yeah. And Sam is like, she's like, do I have to testify or something? And Sam's like, no, it's your choice. That's the whole point. That's the whole point of the testify, and that's the whole point of Becca getting an abortion. It was her choice, no one else's. I was like, go Sam. I'm glad they had her. I was the whole when we saw the promo, the thing I was thinking is, since this is going, like they said, like in the trailer, they want this woman to go to prison.
They did. They said that scene was supposed to be. They literally said that scene until the end of the episode, but we'll get to that in a second.
Yeah, they want this woman to go to prison. My first thought is Sam is going to have a pivotal role in it, and she did, because Andrea did end up testifying and saying that yeah, she helped Becca get an abortion, but she also saw her own brother kill her and push her off a bridge in broad daylight. And it hit me while she was testifying that explains why Becca smiled at first, but then it faded because she knew it was her brother. She knew the person. Then it faded because her brother ended up attacking her. Then we get to the end, and Blake is found guilty. I felt bad when the mom started crying. I was like,
yeah,
she just lost both her children, and her grandchild, in the span of like a day. Like, poor ma'am.
And they're gonna go back to be she is the governor's wife, so going home to Texas, but they're definitely gonna make fun of you. Is not gonna be a good time.
Yeah, you get to go home now with knowing that your daughter had an abortion, your daughter was killed by your son, and your son is in jail for killing your daughter. I don't think he's gonna want to run for re-election after this.
No, he might just resign right now. I would just resign right now.
All right, we got less than a minute, so we gotta get to a stopping point.
Okay.
And
it's
the episode.
To get into the scenes. What's gonna Probably. Yep. Oh, no, that
Okay,
that
we're just gonna stall because the next part of the scene is where we have so much stuff to talk about. So
we do. So
yeah,
we'll
Blake
be
is
back
found
in like.
guilty.
Oh yeah.
Everybody's devastated. That's the end of the trial. All right, we'll
Yeah.
be back.
It's gonna go. It's about to go boom in a second. Ooh, it hasn't happened yet. Hasn't happened yet. But you hear the music I'm playing in the background, or is it?
Yeah, kind of. I also just do this.
Oh yeah. Okay. Now we're good. Okay, we're recording.
All right. We're back. We had to get a new Zoom link. Okay. Yep. So Blake is found guilty. We transition to outside the courthouse. First I'm gonna pause because whoever decided is it Odella? Is that how she I don't know how to say her name, unfortunately.
I don't know. We're sorry. We'll find out and do better next time. Sorry. We'll do better, guys. I promise.
Let me check her Instagram. Maybe she says how to pronounce it. Pause. Nope. But she's got
Anyway.
really I think she's got her name in like a different language.
Yeah, it's in Hebrew.
Okay, so it's either Odella or Od I'm thinking it's Odella because if it was Odella, it would be Laya. Anyway, my God, what did I say the first time?
I don't know. I think you said that. Anyway.
Odella.
Yeah.
No. My God.
Continue.
It's either Odella or Odella. Odella is what I'm gonna go with. Whoever decided to put Odella in the red dress. Thank you. She looks so beautiful.
Yes.
I like
was
thought
say.
it was
I was gonna say that, but now I
so pretty.
I have to remember.
Well, we
Yes,
had to. It's
we
pretty.
did.
She looked beautiful. She can wear that dress again. Thought it was perfect for court and also after court activities.
We haven't gotten there yet. You're jumping the way.
Okay. Foreshadow. You know
we gotta.
Come on.
I may not know what you're saying,
Anyway.
but we can't talk about sex yet. Not yet.
We'll get to it. We're almost there.
Getting to it. We're almost there.
Almost there. Okay. Anyway, yeah.
Outside
they have this conversation. Right and they're basically like, "Thank you for testifying. Take care of yourself. You don't have to go back to Texas if you don't want to." And she's like, "I have to. I'm going to. It's my home." And Sam's like, "You can stay here." And she's like, "Nope, I'm going home." And all this the whole time they're like surrounded by pro-life people who are at the bottom of the courthouse steps holding signs that are like no abortion, ban abortion, and a whole bunch of other pro-life sayings. Oh, speaking of pro-life, this is another thing that Nolan specifically like mentioned in his arguments, and I love that he did it. Something about the murder. He's like, not very pro-life, is it? Like, yeah, an unborn child was aborted, but you're not caring about the fact that your daughter's dead type thing. And that's definitely a very like poignant argument people use sometimes against the movement.
Yeah,
I won't go into
they're
detail.
They're more pro birth than pro life. Is the
we won't go into
anyway, that's not what we want to know.
Yeah, we're not going into too much detail about that. We're just gonna stick to the facts of the episode right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they got all the pro-life signs. They're basically like, take care of yourself. So as Dre is literally walking down.
Wait, Sam asked her, did she want to be? Sam asked her before she started walking, did she want to be escorted? She said no.
Yeah. So I was not expecting this ending at all.
No,
but Dre is walking down the courthouse steps, and a woman, steps up, calls out her murderer, and shoots her twice, point blank range, dead. Now for the details.
And that's literally the end of the episode,
After
y'all, but we're into the, but not really.
Yeah, so yeah, that's literally the end of the episode. She's dead. End of episode. Because literally the end, then we see Sam and Nolan's reaction, and then
The
created by
cops
Dick Wolf.
come. The cops come, and then it's.
Oh yeah, the cops take the girl down because she literally just shot somebody in
Yeah.
broad daylight. Anyway, the
Okay, back to the
details.
fun stuff. The fun stuff.
Fun stuff, because we're getting to why I mentioned the after court activities now. After the, and I like watched the scene again because I wanted to get
I did too,
screenshots.
like 8 million times. Couldn't get a good screenshot.
The first shot, like it's literally like one shot and then another.
Yeah.
It's not like in rapid succession. It's enough that like something happens in between. So after the first shot, like Sam is just standing there, and you see Nolan go to move his arm. Then the second shit happens, and Nolan and Sam immediately drop down to the ground. And Sam is like holding on to Nolan's arm. Nolan's arm is like other arm is like is covering Sam, and the two are like their heads are like together. They're like hiding at first, and then they look and see Drea dead on the ground. It's the first time we've ever seen Sam like shocked, scared, and sad. It hurt. Like first off, like oh god, Dea did it very Odela did it very well, but I was like, oh my god, man, I was scared, and I didn't like. All right, screenshots because fucking needed to.
Yeah.
See if
I think you did a good one. I tried.
as much as I can.
It's a very quick scene, so
on Zoom.
yes, that got me. That's
That's
like,
where we both were like, oh my god.
Yeah. No, because
So
I was outside.
Nolan,
Yeah.
and then Sam is like holding on to his arm.
Yeah. Because I was outside when this was. I'd gone outside by this point, and I looked away and I looked down and I hear the gunshots. I looked down. I was like, oh.
And he's like holding her, making sure she's okay.
Yeah.
And she's like watching what happened. And then this is unfortunate trigger warning, kind of maybe. I don't know. Or like warning, I guess.
If you most of you can't even see us anyway. If you're not on Spotify, you can't actually see us. So
yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, I guess I'll have to describe it then. So this is the last picture of when they see what happened to Drea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The way they're holding each other says
Sam is like terrified, shocked. And then I watched the scene and I looked and I almost started having to freak out in my living room because I watched it. Nolan's hand is on Sam's arm, and she like I don't know if it was like intentional because they're literally like on the ground trying to hold their balance, or if he did it on purpose. But he like rubs his hand on her arm and like a comforting like it's okay, I'm right here type thing. Yeah.
Okay, now we can say it now. We got to the episode.
We kind of brought it up for a thick.
Yeah, because literally we're still not ready for it.
Was like, yeah, you're not ready for it. But I like was trying to think of like after the premiere, I was like, I want to write the
y'all know they know what their resistance is. You just haven't read it. They know we've talked about it enough.
We wanted to write the Law and Order characters into the resistance.
Yeah, that's fine.
But we were like trying to figure out like what they were gonna do because in this world, Sam is not a lawyer anymore. And I'm like, okay, but Nolan's still there. And it hit me.
We couldn't figure out what, and I was like, let's keep him a lawyer. Let's keep him a prosecutor.
We're gonna keep him a lawyer. Then it hit me. What are they gonna do with both of them? Yo, we got a new ship.
Yeah.
We got a new ship. I'm
been writing it for like
So we're
2
not
days. Since, so we've
yeah,
been writing
we've
them since the
literally
premiere
spent
came out. Have
yeah.
not stopped.
Yeah. We're not the only person because
Yeah.
I checked on AO3 before we started recording. There are
That's
13
dope.
other fics under this ship, and I'm here for it.
Yes, we're here for it.
I'm calling it right now that it's happening.
Give us
Until
something,
proven
yes.
otherwise, I am very much convinced that it's going to happen. Especially because I'm going to read this interview article they found from Odea did. It's like back last season. But pull it up, that'd be great.
Forget the you sent it to me in a screenshot.
Yeah, I sent it to you because I was literally like looking at stuff this morning and I was like, oh my god. The interviewer asks her, talk a bit about Maroon and Nolan's dynamic, a bit. How do you think it's changed throughout the season? And Odea says, when they started, everything was new. They were just getting to know each other. Now Maroon is getting more comfortable in her own skin and with Nolan. More daring, stronger, has more opinions she's not afraid to express. With this progression, Nolan also has more respect for her opinions. Also, they have definitely gotten to know each other and have a deeper connection. Like you saw in the last episode, like I said, this is back in season 21, so old episodes. Like you saw in the last episode, it was revealed that Nolan's brother, overdosed, and now she knows about it. So it definitely changes their relationship from solely business to more personal, and there's more depth to it now.
Ship them real hard.
Yeah, we ship them. We ship them very, very much now. Literally. I don't know what made me think of it, but like in the premiere when they're literally watching Rublev's video and they're sitting in his office and just chilling and eating
Real
takeout,
cute.
and I'm like,
It's real cute.
there's
Real
something
cute.
there. And now
Yes,
we're running.
little sparks. We're running with it.
Yeah.
We ran hard,
Yeah,
ran fast.
yeah.
Have not stopped running in 4 days.
We have not. We have so many cute details for them. We love it so much. Like I'm going with it. All right. How many stars do we want to give this episode?
I give it like 4. I don't think I dis.
I'm gonna
No
say
one's
three
been a
and a
flag.
half.
Yeah, yeah.
I would give it.
Yeah,
I would have given it 4 if they had Sam
yeah.
do.
That's the reason why I couldn't give it a 4. I would say 3 and a half
And
also.
wow. And it's not that she hasn't, because literally in the first episode they had her do the closing argument, so we know she can do trial stuff, not just like out of the courtroom.
Mm-hmm.
Before we get to the next episodes, the promo. So next week is already gonna be crazy. They're literally like Nolan is literally walking down the street with
Real
his briefcase,
casual.
and he's yeah, very casual. Love it. Yay. He sees people running, and he's
Out of the
like,
subway.
"Where are
They're
you
running out of the
going?"
subway.
He's like, "What's going on?" And there's somebody who's like, "There are shots fired," and I don't know what compels him to go, but obviously I feel like it's him himself. He goes down to the subway and we see him like literally like trying to like help somebody who's been shot. And then they transition to like um Nolan, or I guess
Police have
in
come.
this case like
Police
he
have
did
come.
sees what?
It's like the police come in and then he's like, I have to take this case.
Yeah, I'm like,
Yes.
he's like, I'm taking this case. No, they're not getting away with it type thing. And we see his hair is like skewed. He's like out of breath. He looks very shaken. So here are things that I need from this. I need to know what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Second, I need a conversation between Sam and Nolan, because now first, Sam was shaken by Drea getting shot. Now Nolan is shaken by seeing all these people getting shot and having to help them, and I need a conversation about that. I need Sam supporting him. I need Nolan, like literally whoever, whenever they find out who do this, I need actually. I'm wondering if he's saw all these people and he helped tend to them. Technically, he's a witness.
Yeah, he may not be able to.
He might not be able to test.
He
He might
says
not
he
be able to
can.
do it.
He might be able to prosecute him. So I might have to.
He says he's gonna take the case and when we can, but if he can't, it's gonna be interesting to see him testify, and then
Mhm.
we would get to see unless they bring McCoy back into the courtroom. We had to see Sam, question him, which I would love. But mainly, I just need Sam and Nolan comforting next week, and then see what else
I
goes
need
on.
it. I'm desperate. We all understand that, like, we haven't stopped writing. We wrote two school. There, one part happens sooner in the story than the other one. Well, actually, they happen right after each other. Actually, never mind.
Yeah.
So they haven't. But we have not stopped writing this for like 4 days.
Once we have
like
a ship, we get attached
we
to
get
it.
we get
fast.
a chokehold. Ships get a chokehold on us real hard.
And we love
Like,
this one so much.
I can't stop.
So much.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. You
Oh,
might hate it.
there was literally, I forget what it is. There's a deleted scene from
Oh
last
yeah.
season.
You sent it to me.
Where it's literally like Sam's literally just like smiling at him, Nolan, the whole time. And they're talking about like why Nolan was a defense attorney and became a prosecutor, and he's like, I got tired of keeping the bad guys out of jail when I should be putting them in, type thing. And I was like, I literally sent you the text, and I was like, do you see what I see? And that was you were first like, no. And I was like, she's smiling at him a lot.
They're
And
real
then
cute.
he watched it again, and he's like,
Shy
yeah.
babies.
So yeah, it should happen, and I'm calling that it's going to. Okay, now we go to SBU. This one is called The One You Feed.
It makes sense later on. Later on, when I paid attention, the title makes sense. We'll get to that one.
I still don't know how it had anything to do with it, but
it made sense later because when I rewatched it, I realized what it was. I was like, oh, it makes sense.
So we're gonna start with the fact that like every SV episode should probably like make you heartsick, but the beginning of this one, like literally, like I felt my heart drop. It was
popped off at the start.
It was hard to watch. It was sickening.
It's like the other one, that first like the one where the gang people light that girl on fire. Yeah, it's that same type of energy.
Yeah, so trigger warning. Literally the description is talking about like tourists. A gang terrorizing tourists. And
I didn't think it was that.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know how that has anything to do with SVU. How is this going to be an SVU case?
But it was just like some like young people, just visiting in New York, oh, you don't know.
And then we found out how it is, and I'm like, oh Lord. Like, I literally felt like very like sick after it. So literally we have this whole family who's like here in New York. It's a dad, a mom, and I think there's 3 daughters.
There's 2. No, is there 3? I thought there's only 2.
2 or 3 daughters. Anyway,
because I thought there was for a second. I don't know if it's 3 or 2. It might be. Hold on, I'll find out. Keep talking.
Okay. Yeah,
there's 3. No, there's 3 because 2 of them they were apart, and we'll get to the scene in a second where before they get on the subway. Two of them are sitting by the tracks, and their mom is like, "You're too close to the tracks."
Move.
Because the other one's listening to the violin player.
Yeah. They're literally this family from Ohio, in New York. And then while they're like showing this family, they're also showing these guys. And we know that they're BX9 because we see the guy like spray paint on a wall.
Also, the fact that they ain't talking about BX9s in like a long time.
But as soon as I saw the BX9 thing, I was like, oh no, not again.
They haven't done BX9 since like Barbara era. I don't think.
Now they're back. Fortunately.
I don't think BX9's been mentioned since Barbara.
And so we had the family literally waiting for the subway, and they have the guys from BX9 on the
Yep.
subway. The family literally just, and then we transitioned. The family literally just sitting on the subway.
They're listening to a guy play a violin
Yeah,
because the daughter plays violin.
and they were there. I think they, funny how it was in both episodes, they were also there in part
A college
because
tour.
the daughter wanted to go to New York college in New York, so they were there for a college tour.
The music tour.
Yeah. Um, so they're literally just sitting on the subway, and all of a sudden the doors open, and a series of the BF9 guys come in with black like coverings over their face, so you can only see their eyes. And they take the mom's phone. And the dad like goes to say something, and the mom like immediately is like, "Nope, nope, it's fine. They can have it."
Yeah.
And then they like end up surrounding the family and the three girls, and they take one of the girls and they like start pushing her towards the back of the subway car. The family tries to stop her, stop them, but one of the guys grabs the dad and pulls out a giant machete, while the other ones hold the mom and the other two daughters while they're screaming and crying for the other daughter who was pushed up against the sub her she was pushed
Like,
up against the glass of the subway door and raped from behind while the mom was crying out and the other daughters had to watch. Um One of the guys like literally like as soon as they grabbed her, the girl started like screaming, or like the mom literally started screaming no. The girl like didn't even have time to react. And it's a line that like you turn away and you blink and you miss it type thing. But I heard it and I wrote it down. Um, and they said one of the guys said we take what we want, and that was the girl, and that's the case. Um, we have the promo. We transition to the subway station.
Yeah.
SVU is now there.
I think they gave Olivia a new picture. What else is it about? But Mariska's a
I
new picture.
wasn't sure.
It's a new one. That's not the same one. That's a new one.
Okay, well,
Anyway,
cool.
that doesn't matter. But I didn't pay. That's different.
Anyway, SVU's here. They figure out what's going on. There's a whole crap ton of blood in the subway car because the dad was literally stabbed with a machete. Where the frick did they get the machete idea?
Exactly. I was like, that's a questionable weapon of choice.
Yeah, I was literally like, oh my god, a machete. And then, so literally at first it's Olivia, Finn, and Velasco talking. Or Olivia and Finn talking, and Velasco's there, and then I don't know how long it was technically like since they filmed episodes, but we found out like later in the episode because people were like asking because Amanda comes back and Olivia looks at her and says, "You picked hell of a first day to come back." And Amanda responds, "Yeah, what doesn't kill you?" Ma'am, you almost died. What do you mean?
Like,
what doesn't kill you?
You literally was on death's door.
Excuse me. Olivia's line reminded me of what Kragen said during her first day. Kragen was like, "You picked a hell of a first day," type thing. I think he said
something similar. That's like 15 too. Isn't it in 15? What 15?
And then, of course, McGrath shows up. And there's this whole like talking of like what happened or whatever.
Gotta write a scene for him later. That's a later thing. Sorry, this is brain spark. We gotta write a scene for him in the Resistance. Later.
Oh, we do.
But
now we got more details to work with from this episode. That because I literally wrote. I'll get to it when we get to it. I wrote something at the end of the doc, and I was literally thinking of our thick the entire time when I wrote it. Anyway, he said McGrath's talking and he's like he wants these guys cuffed by the end of the news cycle. And Olivia, after she walks away, Olivia looks at Finn and says, "Finn, run interference. I don't want him anywhere near me." And I was like, "Oh, she's mad at him again."
I've been always mad at him. He's always doing attention-seeking behavior. It's always one.
And we get like a transition because like it's a gang. They know it's a gang because BX9. Oh, they go to the hospital. They get some details. We find out the girl who got raped was 14, which made it hurt even more. Because at first, like when they're showing her like on the subway, like the camera cut to her at one point because she's leaning against the pillar. I thought she was the oldest daughter. She was not. I don't know where she falls on.
No, yeah, I didn't do that either. For some reason, I thought it was the same girl, but I was incorrect.
Whose
I
it
thought
is,
was the oldest.
but
I thought it was
the girl who got raped was 14. Since they found out BX9 is part of it, they have the gang unit come in, and they quite literally take over the squad room. And literally, Finn and Olivia come back from the hospital. And they're like, Olivia says that McGrath must have been afraid to tell her the gang unit was coming because literally they show a long table and then all the cops sitting down there with phones. They're like surrounding the squad room, and then they walk into a room, and I didn't know this was new. We see this female detective with the her captain, and he literally tries to put his feet up on a freaking table, and she sees Olivia like about to walk in the room, and she's like,
"Stop!
Move your legs!"
Only one person is allowed to do that, and that's not him. Olivia allowed one person to do that, and it's not.
Oh, yep.
You know what I mean.
Yep.
You know what I mean.
I do. His name starts with B and it ends in Arva.
Yeah.
Anyway, she says something about like, "Don't you have any class?" And then he says some whatever misogynistic shit because that's basically what his personality is. Yeah. They get into more details about the case, and then they transition to. We found out his name is Duarte. They transition to like him talking to Olivia in her office,
and
he literally just starts picking up stuff from her desk, and he's literally holding her snow globe, and she's like,
"Bruh, don't stop touching my stuff right now, please."
And then McGrath comes over and he's like, "Oh, good, you're hoping I'm not interrupting." Yeah. I hope I can talk to Benson for a moment. And then Duarte leaves the room, and as he's leaving the room, he looks at McGrath and he says, whatever she tells you, the truth is somewhere in the middle. And like McGrath laughs.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, stop giving us reasons to hate you. Because
this fuels my fic writing.
It does though. But like literally stop it. And he talks to Olivia about like who this guy is, that they're working together. I forget how we get to it, but I literally wrote this down. Olivia said something about, "Oh, I'm happy," and McGrath is like,
"Oh, I remember what she said. He said, "Aren't you happy that like I got you some more people for you?"
Oh yeah, literally. Part of the thing is that they're short staffed.
They've been for like a year.
Can we pause the fact that he's saying he's short staffed, and we're losing Rollins
in like 8 episodes? We're on the 7th.
It's like okay, we know that Rollins is leaving, and then we're getting the new girl.
Yeah, replacing the same amount of people. That's the same amount of people we had before.
Okay, not the best choice of
Loosely.
words, but like
Very
becoming the new detective when somebody leaves their position isn't getting a new person.
no.
Like it'd be better if we had Rollins and the new girl. Then at least we have one more
Yes.
detective.
No, we're back with the same we were before. Literally.
No,
What are they?
now we're back to the same. Hold on.
Short staff. Still.
Live in Alaska,
not
the
a-
new girl.
not
We're still
again.
at 4.
Yeah.
We got a captain, a sergeant, and 2 detectives.
2 detectives. Oh,
2.
boy.
What the hell? How do you run a unit with 2 detectives?
2 detectives.
2.
Oh boy.
It makes no sense. Anyway,
We had a whole podcast episode just talking about the whole
yeah, and McGrath
situation.
is like,
so
this
go
is
listen to
you-
the episode about Kelly and Rollins. Go listen.
yeah, he's like, this is you happy. I hate to see you. And then there's an interruption. I forget who it is. Somebody interrupts. They go back to the hospital to do some more IDing and line up.
Mhm.
And while the mom is IDing one of the guys, the doctor comes over and unfortunately gives her the news that the dad was killed from being stabbed multiple times with the machete. So not only has her 14-year-old daughter just been raped, the dad was killed, and I think the mom made some sort of comment. It was like we're literally just we're like a family from Ohio. We literally just came from a college tour, and this happened. We find out that the rapist was 15. One of the rapists was 15. And his like grandmother is like, he would never do this. What do you mean? And then they literally find
He's supposed to be going on a field trip at the beginning.
Yeah, he's supposed to be going on a
Don't be
field
late.
They literally find him in the bathtub, and his grandma's like, "What did you do?" This is also around the time when I found on Twitter, like people were asking because literally last episode Amanda's on a hospital bed,
Yeah.
and now she's back, and somebody asked Julie Martin, "How long has it been since Amanda had been shot?" 6 weeks. Ma'am, I know you're strong, but that was a pretty bad wound. How are you coming back after 6 weeks? Like, that just seems impossible.
Yeah, 6 weeks though, especially for that kind of wound. 6 weeks.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, Amanda Rollins or not, like 6 weeks is crazy for anybody. Okay. Once they get all the guys ID, and they're talking to the 2 of them, the young one who's basically like, I didn't have any choice to do this type thing. They're talking about how the fact that the main dude who raped her has connections to like the leader, one of the leaders of BX9. And Duarte is basically like, we should see what he knows about him, and go after him. And Olivia says, I'm more concerned with cuffing the bastards who gang raped a 14-year-old while her father lay dying. And that's one of the lines that is definitely Captain Benson, for sure. Then, yeah, we do get verbal confirmation that the new girl is, in fact, how do you say her name? Is it
I think it's Muncie.
Muncie? Because
Muncie.
they have, no, okay, I jumped ahead. Because all the Velasco Muncie banters when they're literally trying to go get the 15-year-old rape the 15-year-old. Then they have this whole like spiel banter. We didn't write down everything, but we got the key points. Basically, one of the things Velasco says, if I ever talk to Captain Benson the way you talk to Duarte, I'd be doing harbor duty in Harvard, Staten Island, which is true.
Now be gone. Bye.
If Velasco ever talked to Olivia wrong, he'd be, oh yeah. Like, I mean, Olivia isn't one to like de-promote people, but she also doesn't tolerate being talked to like that
Mhm.
by anybody. And then they're like literally walking up the stairs, and Velasco's like, "It must be hard for a white woman to be trusted in the gang unit." And Muncie shoots back, "It must be hard for you to get a rape victim's trust if she was just victimized by a man." I was like, ooh,
That'll be fun.
which
We
is
can find
true
out,
though.
Mhm.
Like, not accurate statistics, but like 9 times out of 10, most of the cases we see on SVU was a man assaulting a woman, and then they're going to they have a male sergeant they're talking to, a male detective, and then a male ADA. So I mean, what she said makes sense.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know why the hell I wrote this down because I took it back literally 20 minutes later. I first wrote, "Yes, I'm Jolene, but I don't fully hate this," and I wrote enemies to blank. I'll get to why I take it back
Yeah.
later.
Yeah, we kind of just when we take notes to the episode without like we do it all at one time, so like our reactions change later on.
Oh yeah. Yep. So then they literally get the guy, and the grandma's like, "What are you doing?" And like Velasco literally throws him a towel. It's like, "Get up." They question him. He said it wasn't his choice. Um. Then they have to like go talk to the youngest kid's baby mama, or one of his baby mamas, apparently. Or
Yeah.
one anybody, somebody's baby mama. They have to go talk to. Um, and I forget,
He
was it
says
Olivia or McGrath who sent Velasco with Duarte?
it was Olivia
Okay, Olivia. I mean,
because
that makes
Duarte
sense.
because Duarte is like, well, she likes guys with green eyes, and then Olivia's like, take Velasco.
First off, we'll put him in the leather jacket. Thank you. Need more of that. Um, they're literally talking and how before this is even before they go to talk to the girl,
Yeah.
and how Velasco's like, "I like SVU. I wasn't sure I would at first, but I like SVU." And Duarte has the balls to give Velasco a card, and he's basically like, "When you're ready to grow up, call me." And I will literally like, "No,
I understand. You just
I
got here
get
a
not
couple years ago.
everybody
Stay.
likes Velasco. I get everybody doesn't like Velasco for either because he came after Cat or other reasons. But like, no, you're not taking him now.
Can't snatch him.
Pause up.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't. Nope.
And then you put this, and I don't think I noticed it at first. You said the conversation is about if Duarte says, because about Duarte saying SVU can't and doesn't handle the people of color raped by gangs, and his unit can. And I was like, oh,
Yeah, he's kind of like SV doesn't have that like time where it's have to worry about the little tiny like for primarily people of color communities who are being victimized by gangs. But since
like,
they're the gang unit, that's what they do. They can.
because literally there was like one point where like they said, Amanda, I think brought it up maybe over Velasco, that part of the initiation or like recruitment they get is like people in like South America, and they basically like rape the moms and sisters if they say they're not going to join, and then they go join because that just happened. um I mean, like, I get why he says that, because right now, um the only diversity they have on SVU right now is Finn and Velasco.
Yeah. And a lot of the cases SVU does handle are particularly white women.
And they
It
had a
has
case,
many.
where literally
They haven't had many people of color in a while.
they had a case where it was the episode where the ice cream dude was raping
Oh
women
yeah, yes, I
while
do.
their
Remember.
kids were watching. And it's just like the first time McGrath was ever doing shit that was like, the woman,
Hello, there.
the ice cream case, the Latina, at least I believe she was Latina, who got raped, while her like 3-year-old son was watching, and she basically had to say, "We're playing a game." Had been with a man earlier that night, but then got raped. Some of her case was messy. Then the guy did it again and went after a white woman who's like newborn, basically, was in the room. And she was the daughter of a cop. And like basically to McGrath and the brass, her case was crystal clear. I actually think the other woman's name was Crystal. Anyway, the Latina woman's case was dropped, but they continued on with the case of the white woman. So that is an example of maybe SVU isn't fully equipped to handle the case, at least not with McGrath in charge. Because if Garland was there, he would have went against the brass and said, "Screw it, we're prosecuting this man for both women's rapes." Even Carisi and Olivia at that point were like, "What the hell do you mean we have to drop this case?" They didn't want to. They had to do what their bosses said. But so yeah, I guess Forte made a point. Didn't make a good point.
He wasn't all the way wrong in his argument.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff that he said in the episode wasn't all the way wrong.
Yeah, he had a lot of up and down. I was like,
that's an example. So that's an example of the case of.
The episode you're talking about is 23-4. One more tale of two victims.
Yeah, so that is an example of where maybe SVU isn't fully equipped to be able to handle color cases like this. Not because they can't, but because of the brass in charge. And so then they find the woman and they're talking to her, and gonna admit I squealed. Literally, Velasco, this is when he's wearing the leather jacket, sits next to the woman, and the girl literally they literally just told the girl that,
oh yeah, that's
he's got another baby mama, and she's like, what? And then she finds out that he kissed her too, and she's like super sad. And Velasco sits next to her, puts his hand on
top of her hand,
or on her knee or whatever, and his voice gets quiet, and he says, "If you were my girl, I'd never do you like that." And I was like, I know it's a ploy, but I squealed so loud. I was like, because literally all I could picture was him saying that, like, genuinely to Kathleen, and I'm just like, yep, this is how we've been writing Velasco, and I freaking need more of this.
We got them some more
because I feel, I mean, is he very genuine? Yes, but I feel like if he's in a relationship,
he's very,
you would see this like flirtatious side with him, like whether it's through intimacy, like not even just like intercourse intimacy, but like intimacy, or literally just like regular moments when he wants to be like flirty. I feel like it would work. I need more of it. Then we literally get to the scene where they find out where this dude is. They literally storm into this guy's main leader's guy's house where the kid is, and Duarte, I think, shoots him.
Yeah, he's just one Velasco, of the guys. There's two guys.
Okay, anyway, Velasco immediately runs over to the young kid, and the kid is like, "I have a baby," and Velasco is like, "I know," and literally tries to stop the bleeding. Olivia and Finn are going to the back. Duarte is up on top of the roof with the dude. Olivia and Finn are literally like looking around, and next thing we know, guy falls through the roof.
Really?
This is Sleep, like the leader of like the
one of the biggest gangs.
yeah, this part of the game.
Well, this part is the game. Anyway,
This part of the game, and the guy, the leader of the one who like basically organized this whole thing.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, now he's dead.
Can testify if you're dead.
Yeah, basically. The question is, let's see, did he fall through the roof or was he pushed? And I forget what the scene was that I said it. I literally think it was just them talking or whatever about stuff. And they literally wrote, I take it back. Getting weird vibes from Velasco and the new girl. I'm attached to Jolene.
We love some Jolene. Sorry.
It's plausible. It is. It's not like we totally pulled it out of thin air. Both characters on the show. Literally, if the only way I get this is if Olivia and Elliot have to talk more, then.
Well, they don't. Somebody said whoever the first one described that was that I think whoever mentioned it to make the crack ships that they met on a dating app. So
I mean, it would work.
Whoever made the joke originally was that from that same episode where he's Velasco's. He said, "What if it matched with Kathleen's favorite?" And I was like, "Oh."
I mean, like, literally would just like it would literally wouldn't have her last name. So they meet and they talk and they wouldn't know.
You know,
and somehow it come out that by the way, my boss knows your dad. And
yeah,
that thing. Anyway, we find out that Duarte has gone too deep, gone very deep undercover.
Like someone we know. I'm sorry, I was gonna make this later, but it's time now.
You're not wrong, though.
I would use like somebody we know.
And then that's like why he has literally like problems against him, like Finn has heard things. He also got like personal beef with people. Is this when we get to the conversation where he's literally like, it's literally just him and Lydia talking. And he goes into her office again, and they're talking about stuff. And he literally goes, "Look, Benson." And Olivia stops and says, "The next word out of your mouth better include Captain." I was like, "Oh, yeah, shit's about to go down."
I was like, "Oh no!" I was about to go down today. I was like, "Oh."
And the guy's like, "Oh, if our marriage like this, we're gonna need a safe word, Captain." And Olivia's like, "How about this? Force Investigation Division," because that's like where they found out about like his undercover stuff and like bad things or whatever.
He's like,
I don't know. What I do know is you've heard I made mistakes. Yeah, I have once or twice, and you've heard the rumors about me undercover. Olivia, tell that you let the mask become your face, and I wasn't expecting Duarte to bring this up.
I know. I was like,
he did. I was like, oh my god! He literally says you ought to know all about that because of your ex-partner, the one at OC, the one at the OC, the one named Stabler. Look, I'm no shrink, but I'm pretty sure what you're doing here is called projection. You're projecting. I was like, whoa!
I was like, oh. Yeah, we're gonna talk about this. We're gonna talk about this for a minute because it's very important. This one line is so important. It's true. It's very, very true. No matter how people want to argue, it is true. And it's very true in the sense it's also the fact that like people are aware of this. And Olivia seems to ignore completely. Even like some random guy she only met like 2 days ago was like, "That guy,
yeah, literally already knows."
I was like, yeah, and like I see. What else was I gonna say? Yeah, the project like Olivia does the lot, not a lot, but she's did a lot of the projection thing where she's like angry at people who she shouldn't be angry at. And like I have much to say about this, but I had a lot to say
God, I'm
about this, but I
actually
forgot about it. And how like literally everybody knows about it, like except for her. I'm like, why don't you see it? Do it.
everybody, literally you said it's gonna be a theme this year of everybody
I did.
calling her
That was
out.
that was the point. That was the point I was gonna make. That I'd forgotten. How I feel
Next
like
needs
this
to be
is just
Maxwell.
yeah. I feel like this is gonna be a consistent theme throughout the rest of the
We know
season
there's
until
a
they get
scene
to
of
there's them sitting on the bench talking.
yeah.
But like
Next needs
because
to be Maxwell because we know there's a
yeah,
scene of Olivia
yeah,
and Marisha.
and Betty on the bench. But like this projection because if they do what Mariska is asking, which is give Olivia a healing journey, you gotta know you have a problem. You have to know you have a problem before you can fix the problem. You know? So that means there has to be some more people calling this out real hard for her to realize this is a problem and therefore to fix the problem. You know? So I feel like this is gonna
It's a
go on
problem.
for a while. This like arc of everyone's gonna keep calling the same issue out and you can't ignore everyone forever. You know?
Yeah.
That's gonna be consistent probably. Somebody's gonna say something
And
about it.
his mask has become this because Everton's gone
Literally.
he's
He's
changed.
gone undercover, did some crazy stuff. A lot of crazy shit went down.
Worse.
Listen. And we're just like, well,
You're still there. You're like totally all blurry, breaking up.
oh, am I blurry? It's the stupid college Wi-Fi. I'm sorry. Is this moved out yet? Because you're a little chopped on mine, but that's just because the Wi-Fi is finished. Oh, it's not on the good Wi-Fi.
Okay.
Switching Wi-Fi to the fast Wi-Fi. So we have like the fast Wi-Fi and the slow Wi-Fi. I don't know if there's a difference, but I just switch them just because. Maybe it'll be better. Is it better?
I can still
Probably.
hear you, but you're not.
Oh well, that's good enough. We will need to hear me more this evening anyway. It's fine.
Okay.
Um.
Next we have the Olivia and Muncie talk.
Anything else from that before we move on? Anyway, we'll talk about that. Okay, we'll move on.
Everybody's calling Elliot out as they should.
As they should.
Next we have the Olivia and Muncie talk. And she's talking. Olivia's asking her about Duarte. And she says he's passionate and unpredictable, and she respects him, and is a good cop with no reason to doubt him. But Olivia says difficult to work with, just like someone else.
Yeah, that's also I was gonna say that too. I was like, just like someone else.
Someone else we know.
Someone else
I
we know.
literally like didn't think of that when they said it, but reading it.
Yeah, when I watched it again, I was like someone we know. I'm like,
Okay. Anything else you want to say that before we get to the cute stuff?
That like she later on, we haven't gotten to that part yet, but like you see a lot of Elliot type behavior in Duarte, and you see a lot of
Olivia type behavior in
yeah, and I feel like that might be the
what
like
they're trying to do.
Yeah, it might be pushing that direction. She sees a lot of that same behavior that Olivia sees that same behavior that she does, and it's like, wait, that's a problem. Like, yep, you do the same thing. So might be getting there. Might be onto something. We're gonna call it for one else. So, anyway, back to him. We're good. Move on.
Yeah. Okay. So then we transition to Carisi's office. They're talking about like the case and whether or not these people are like taking plea deals or whatever. Then like Finn and Velasco leave. Yeah. And there's this camera angle, which I don't know what really had to do with it, but I thought it was cool. And they like transition.
I love a good camera angle.
Yeah. So Amanda's sitting in the chair and Sunny sits on the edge of his desk and like leans down and looks at her. And this is the releasey thing we were all waiting for this week. And he literally, his voice gets quiet and comforting, and he says, "You look a little beat. Please don't push it."
I'm gonna start crying because like Kelly can't actually cry. We have work to do.
Oh, I didn't cry then.
Oh yeah, we'll get to that in a second. The crying. There's lots of other tears.
And literally, Amanda would usually be like, "I'm fine." Nope, she said. Okay.
It was,
Softly.
I don't know what I was doing when I was typing this because I have all kinds of typos. Anyway, continue.
And then this is like when I started soft emotional squealing again because Sunny says, "Let me take you home." Not let me take you to your home. Let me take me
Yeah.
back to your apartment. Let me take you home. Home.
I was like,
They have a home together, y'all.
I'm like
They have a
together. I was
home
like,
together. They have
that's sweet, babies. I love them too.
oh god.
I
Yeah.
love them too.
So, yep. That was that. And we're like, oh my god. Let me take you home.
Yeah. Cry
Okay.
slow tears.
So that was the releasing moment of this week. Olivia says Muncie is Forte's zookeeper when they talk at the bar.
Literally, that's what she was
He's
for
a
Elliot.
wild
Not gonna.
animal and
She
she's
literally
getting
did that for him.
tame.
Just
Yeah, like Olivia had to keep Elliot tame. At least try to.
literally.
Oh,
Try.
speaking of, I mean, I'll get to this more when we get to OC, but I saw literally something online. Somebody posted, I sent this to you, the Elliot Stabler drinking game.
Oh man, that'd be so
Thought I sent this to
intoxicating. That's
you.
how we were doing.
And literally I ignored the first five, but the last two were literally like if Olivia or Belle have to stop him from going after someone, and anytime Belle gives him the look because he's doing shit, it's like
Yeah, he got the looks every time that episode.
yeah. So we find out that Sleep's death was ruled an accidental fall. We just don't know if that's true or not, but it was ruled an accidental fall.
And also, they never addressed it either. It doesn't even matter. They're like, yeah, whatever. Is
and
it
then
true?
we find Olivia. He tells Olivia that he made Velasco an offer without telling her, and she's like, "What?" They're literally doing this over drinks. Also, there's a
Yeah.
new bar. I don't know what it's called, but they have
Yeah,
a new
it's
bar
kind of
now.
fancy. It's pretty
It
fancy.
is
It's
fancy.
pretty. I was like, oh, this place.
So does that mean Barbara's gonna show up there in a tux and then?
Yes. We just explode into a million little pieces. And we get to scrape it off the ground. Just saying.
Just gonna put that out in the universe.
Put it out there, gotta put that out there, Sprinkle it out there.
Hinting.
Please, if we
Anyway.
need some anyway, we're manifesting Barbara this season in a good way, Gotta put that out there, just saying.
If I
And
can't
they were like,
have him in Kelly's last episode, which we absolutely should, then somewhere else.
Please, we're begging.
They're literally having this conversation where they're like, boys like me have to have wolves in me. And Olivia said, yeah, one is good and the other is a congenital pain in my ass. The real question is which one is going to win in you. That's where the episode title comes from. Because the next thing he says is the one you feed. And Olivia's like, I guess we'll have to see how this case goes. And then
I was like, it makes sense now. The one you feed.
About that, like basically, if you feed the good side of you, you'll be a good cop. If you feed the bad side of you, you'll be a bad cop.
Yep.
Then we get to like definitely the most pivotal thing of the night. They transition to literally Olivia is getting coffee, and Amanda walks
a really
in the
pretty
room.
blazer on. Sorry, I have to put that out there. The blazer is so pretty. That light, like the teal color, man. Sorry.
Yeah,
I had to put that out there.
definitely. And she's like, "You want coffee?" And Amanda's like, "I'm guessing this is not optional." And Libby's like, "Yep." We didn't write down all the quotes, but we got some of the main details. So Amanda doesn't want Olivia to be worried about her. Olivia is like saying stuff. And Amanda's like, do you not want me to come back? And Olivia's like, obviously wants her back, but it's a lot. Like, it was
are you crazy?
A lot just happened. they're both sitting on the couch, like Amanda's sitting on the couch, and Olivia moves over to be closer to Amanda. Actually, no, before this, she's walking and she's literally like, Amanda, you scared me. Can we pause right
Yeah, I
there?
was like, oh, that was a real
I was
shit.
like, oh my god. Like, Olivia was scared that she was about to lose Amanda. That hit hard. That hits hard.
Did,
And
yeah, I
then
was
she
like,
says,
oh, because
I
Olivia shows up, is that first scene of the gurney going, the with the
yeah.
gurney with the dead body going, and she's like, oh my god.
And literally
Yeah.
she says, I can't imagine what it was like for you. Which also hits harder because it's like, no, you can't imagine what it's like for Amanda to have to have been shot like that. But like she's trying to understand it. And I literally wrote, because I was already getting emotional, I wrote quotes later, too busy crying.
Yeah, I didn't handle the quotes
Um,
later.
Basically, like the big points of it was, I thought Amanda says, I thought I lost my girls. And she's like, how I was thinking how I could lose them. And Olivia's like, and they lose you. And the next line, the one that broke
Ooh,
me,
it
because
hurt.
I was already teary eyed. And this is like, it's been a while since the show has actually made me like cry.
Yeah.
This broke me. I like started shaking, crying. For some reason I started laughing because sometimes when I get really emotional I like laugh. But I was full on like crying, shaking because she said I could just thinking about Parisi, how I'm never going to see him again. I thought of how like we kind of wrote it a bit already.
Oh yeah, we have worked on a one shot.
We're
Sorry, we got
still
distracted.
working on it because
We
we
got
got
distracted by the
distracted with
whole.
other things.
We said
But she
we got
literally,
distracted with Sam and no one. Sorry.
yeah,
Okay, that's
that's we'll get to all our fix eventually. Um,
there's
and
so
it
many
was literally she
backlog.
said
It's a
it,
shame.
yeah, she said it out loud. How I'm never going to see him again. And I was like,
That was a real
uh,
shit. I was out once again. I was outside in the middle, sitting on a rocking chair. I think I was sitting on a rocking chair. We have like a
yeah.
sitting spot, like where I was doing at the sorority
And she's
social. And I was in that rocking
literally
chair, and I
like
was like,
describing.
I'm just me with my phone in my hand, just like, oh,
She literally like had her hand like dangling. She's describing how
yeah,
like the sun was in her face and how she's like thinking about
yeah,
she lose girls and how she'd never see Carisi again. And I was like, um, Amanda, and then I get sad again because she's like, I've been so careless with my life. And Olivia's like, not anymore. And then Amanda says, I let my guard down, let myself be happy for once, and this happens. And Amanda, and then Olivia says, I guess the difference is, I know Amanda starts, I guess the difference is, and then Olivia says, you never had anything to lose before. I'm gonna pause right there because there has been discourse
yeah.
about this line. Um,
Mm.
yes, Amanda has been a mom for 6 years, so it's not like she hasn't had anything to lose before. But this is the first time in her life where everything is set in stone.
Yeah,
She has her daughters, she has her boyfriend, she has her job, she has her friends and family. Well, chosen family.
yeah.
She's happy. Before, there was always one like missing piece
Mhm.
that still made her think that, I mean, this is my life. I'm fine. I'm happy, I guess. This is the first time she's ever been genuinely happy,
Mhm.
and she was worried that this time she would actually lose it. And I think that's what the line meant. Not that like
Yeah,
she never had anything to lose before. Um yeah, maybe the wording wasn't the best, but this is
yeah.
the
That's
first
just I would
time
agree with you
where
on that.
she genuinely felt like I could have lost everything.
Mhm.
And Amanda's like, yeah. And that was the end of the scene. And I literally wrote Kelly just Kelly. And
The
I
acting in that
literally
scene.
put on Twitter,
Real tears.
Mariska and Kelly making me cry tonight. And I took like a picture of it. And she's talking about, so it's literally when she's literally dangling, showing how
Yeah.
the guy was dangling the gun in her face, and she's thinking about Carisi, and her voice is cracking, and I'm like, yeah. So Kelly Giddish, just gonna say that Kelly Giddish.
So good.
I forget who put. Oh no, I gotta find the tweet because it was a good tweet.
You linked the tweet, so on the doc, he put it in there. So she would have.
Chris Harnick, he's like a journalist, and he talks about SVU on the show a lot, and he said, Kelly Giddish said, I'm not going to stop giving it my all, even if being forced out of SVU. And I was like, she put everything she had in that scene, and it's so true. Okay. So after I was done crying, we transitioned to the lineup and everything.
Yes, lineup. Yeah, it's a lineup.
And at first the girl like messes up, but like then she sees like the guy in the corner, and she's like, "Nope, that's him. That's him. That's him."
Because he had a scar, and she
He had
remembered
a
the scar.
scar above his eyebrow, and like that's how she knew it was him. And then the other daughter IDs the other guy, and the mom IDs the other guy. They got on him. There's something about it, and this is okay. First, I don't know how they decide when they're going to give characters backstories and everything, but literally Muncie's been on the show for not even an episode, and we already got a good chunk of backstory on her.
Yeah,
it's like all sad.
Minutes. It's like this is like good 30 minutes in, I think.
It's all sad because
literally everyone is a sad life except like one person.
Yeah, everybody's sad except one, and I don't remember who that one is.
The only person that had a stable family beforehand was Carisi. No one else had a stable family life.
Yeah, and then like, well, we say that, and then his brother. Yeah, so not nobody's family on the show is perfect.
No.
Carisi's is the closest, just with the Italian family thing. Anyway, the Muncie's talking to the girl afterwards about how she's like sad because her dad is dead, and we found out Muncie's mom is dead, and she gives her some advice about like looking up. I think she said something about looking.
Yeah, and taking some deep breaths and be like, your mom's always with. I mean, your dad's always with you. That's what I believe about my mom.
Talking to them. I always talk to my mom. And how she can talk to her dad, type thing. And Olivia's like, that's when the gears start turning in Olivia's head that like she's good at this.
Yeah, Olivia's around the corner.
Yeah.
She's like.
Then we transition to McGrath and his press because talking to the damn press. Dorte is making comments, and Olivia's upset because Dorte isn't taking this case seriously. Dorte then says McGrath should be on board with dismantling DX9. Olivia is like, so you want this family to be collateral damage? And McGrath is like, oh, so we have the cake? If we're gonna have cake and eat it too. So they're gonna close the rape case and dismantle DX9 at the same time. And I literally like the way he's talking about it. He's talking about it so nonchalantly.
Yeah, he's still casual. Like, look at him
screaming. Like the two guys are talking about it like nonchalantly, and Olivia's just like standing there fuming. And I wrote, screaming, just screaming. McGrath, F you.
Because he's real. He's more
Just
concerned
when I
about getting on
thought-
the news. Like you always thought about him. He loves the
Just
news.
when
He
I
loves the press.
thought he was changing for the better, we get
Yeah,
this. And I'm like, well, nope.
they're not allowed to win.
Nope. That just gives me more
Honestly.
oh, that just gave me like literally now that we just said it out loud, that gives me a whole shit ton of fake ideas right now. Oh,
I'll work on that.
hold on. What's next? Oh yeah, they're literally talking about then we transition to Betty Buckley.
Yeah.
Yay, she's back! Betty's back,
Yes.
Betty's back, Betty's back.
Well, excited. I was like, oh, this
Hold
is
on, let me text you the idea while we're talking. So they're talking about like literally dropping the rape case entirely.
because
To get
the guys like has some information on BX9 and then about busting them, but they have to be plead to immunity, get immunity. That's what the defense is, and they were like, "Excuse me, we're not giving you immunity just because." Well, that's what Olivia and Sunny think, but the floor is not so certain yet. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm just texting you. I was hold up. Yeah, so they're talking about like literally they're gonna drop the rape case. And Olivia's like, are you seriously thinking about this? And I was literally like, Maxwell, are you seriously thinking about this? Like, I get she has to do her job and talk
Yeah.
to the entire floor. But like to have canonically said that Maxwell is a rape victim, why on earth would she even think about this? But then again, she did say like it wasn't fully
It's the
her
whole
choice.
A4. Yeah. It's literally like the whole A4 has to make this decision. But she's like, I'll let you know. You'll be the first to know when we decide. But the A4 has to make that decision.
Um, and I said Olivia's not on board with the A4 on dropping charges for same valence deals. They're like basically like pleading not guilty type thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I was getting like very, very worried that like they were literally going to drop the case and these kids are gonna be like, this girl was never gonna get justice. They transitioned to like the thing that's on TV and it's this thing about not
Yeah.
guilty and Finn says turn it off. And I get worried and I'm like, this can't be good. Then they have this scene and I love that they put this.
Yeah, I did like this scene a lot.
Velasco talking to Finn about like whether or not he should stay at SVU. And he says something about like it's a challenge, it's challenging. And Finn is like, well, if you want the challenge, stay here type thing. And he says Finn tells Velasco he came to SVU because he was tired of arresting people not doing anything. It was very wise advice that Finn gave to Velasco, and I think Velasco definitely took it to heart. Then we transition back to the 8th floor. And I literally wrote this in all caps because I was like, thank God. That Maxwell ignored the deal. And they were not dropping the rape charges. Thank God.
Like literally, this is the whole reason why we're here.
Thank God.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God. Like even my parents are like, this is when I don't like these episodes, like when these guys are gonna get off, and I'm like, they better not. And Olivia's like, seriously? We're not going with the deal? The Dorta is like not real. Actually no. It was the lawyers who were like,
yeah,
you're making a stupid decision. And Carisi at one point actually yeah, first Olivia and Maxwell sit down and share a martini.
there's some tea. They drink
Some tea. Sorry, tea, which was super sweet and cute.
Because she was like, McCoy is on our side too.
And I was like, oh, we get him a mention from him. So I got questions now.
I think McCoy is the DA, and then
does that mean he has connections to homicide and
yeah, he's over all. I think he's over all of the like district attorneys. And then like
Because now that
Maxwell is
means we've got Law and Order
Maxwell
and
is
SVU connections now.
yeah, and as Maxwell is trial division chief for SVU. So I guess the Ken Rankin she has to talk to him too. So maybe we'll get some, you know. I kind of they should do a mothership SVU crossover, not organized crime because we have like too many of those, and then I do real crossovers. I want a
Yeah,
mothership. Hmm. We'll think about that. We'll think about that. I have a MacBook. They pop up on the screen. I was like, we'll think about that. We'll think about that.
It literally like you brought it up again. I was like, oh,
I have no idea what we're talking about, guys. That's okay.
maybe
We'll find out. If we decide to do it, you'll find out.
anyway. She's like
Martinis are the
lubricant of justice.
I was like, that's so funny.
In other words, they had martinis, they talked, now the deal is no longer happening.
Yeah.
Then we transitioned to the lawyers being like, we had a deal, you lied to me. Yeah, sorry. Then they're like, oh, Mr. Carisi, you're making a mistake. And Carisi stops the young kid, the youngest person at the end, and he says, son, take my advice, get a new lawyer. And I got like, we've written Carisi calling like somebody younger than his son, but hearing it out loud, I was like, I don't know, I liked it. It was.
We're like, the funny thing is we've gotten so good at writing these characters, like so good
before they happen now.
We write things before they happen. We're almost, that's so good. Like Definitely. We're like, they actually said that. We're like, we imagine them saying something and write it, then they actually say something similar, and we're like,
Okay, then we transitioned back to they've sent.
It's so funny for no reason though.
So funny. The two guys have turned on each other, basically.
Not that's in the next scene is pretty funny.
And then we get to the literally Olivia's literally just sitting in the precinct, and all of a sudden we hear banging noise.
She's like,
and
Muncie is whamming on this. Bang. I was like, it must be breaking all the time because
on the vending
we'll talk about it a second after the scene's over.
On the vending machine, I was like, okay. All then Olivia walks in. She said, vandalizing the vending machine is criminal mischief. A misdemeanor like that would get you in a year in jail.
She's like, no hot Cheetos.
And she's like, this is kind of embarrassing. I put $2 in there because I wanted flaming hot Cheetos.
A flaming hot band.
And then Marisha's like, no, Olivia's like, here, I'll help. And me thinking, I don't know, maybe she's gonna hit the machine.
Do a little tap, a little secret tap. Nah, bro.
No, she gets down on her knees and freaking reaches into the vending machine.
Cashews. It's like, oh. Let's do this a lot. How do you know? You must be doing this quite often.
It's just so random, but it was.
I was like, huh? What's she doing? Without Lydia had like a secret, like banging up and nah. Cashews. She goes cashews. She's like, all I can reach was cashews. And she's like, thanks. She's just, let me just reach up in there. It's like, that scene is so funny.
Captain Benson on the ground reaching into a vending.
And I was like, you must be doing this, Lydia. You must be trying to get them snacks too.
There's somebody else but maybe she does this for maybe she's done it for Noah.
There's another episode of I think the vending machine is just broken. This is another episode. I think it's Rollins. He's trying to get something out of the vending machine. It doesn't work. Somebody else does it too, like way earlier on.
Crappy coffee and broken vending machines.
Yeah. Yeah, the vending machine is. I remember somebody bangs on the vending machine and it doesn't come out, and they're mad about it. It might be. I think it's Rollins, and it's Sunny says something about like she wanted some chips or something. I think she was like early on pregnant, and she's like with the Jesse, and then she's trying to get something, and she's like, and she can't get it. Like, I think that's what it is. I can't remember.
Anyway,
she wanted them chips real bad.
That happened.
They were salt and vinegar. I just can't remember that.
Yeah.
I can't remember what episode that was.
That happened. Then we get them talking about how she was with the girl and I forget what Muncie said before, but Olivia says listening is probably the most valuable skill you can have.
Olivia compliments her. She's like, I saw you the other whatever day it was. I saw you helping. Yeah.
Okay. Where did we leave off?
Oh, literally, sometimes I pay attention to the countdown, and sometimes I forget, and it just goes boop, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah. Okay, yeah, we're
oh,
talking about
it was so long.
Olivia saying she saw Muncie with the girl the other day and how she did good. We also find out that Muncie has a brother.
Yeah.
And they were both like struggling after their mom died. Anyway, we
They
end
didn't
in
say how
like
old they were when their mom died. They just said they didn't say
yeah.
how old they were either. So you know
No,
when
all
their
they
mom died.
know
So they
is
could have been.
she has a brother, a dead mom.
Mhm. They lived.
And
She and her brother lived together. They inherited their mom's house.
yeah, Olivia and her are like getting along.
Mhm.
Then we get transition to Velasco wanting to talk to Olivia, and I got nervous because the way he started talking, I was like, are we losing him? And they just didn't want to tell us. But no, he's staying. Velasco is staying at SVU, and he wants to stay at SVU. And I was like, hey, because I was like, I cannot lose anybody else right now.
Not allowed.
We can't.
Not
Um.
allowed. Banned forever.
Oh, and Olivia's like, okay, I'm glad you're staying. You're training Muncie, and he's like you could tell he's like slightly surprised. How long has he been at SVU?
Year. If we time it, if you like line it
Has it
up,
really been a year?
roughly a year, because he came in 23.
Okay, I mean, I guess that's enough time to train her then.
So
But
about
like,
a year,
dang.
and it's about the same time.
Then George and Olivia talk again at the bar, and George has like, you poached one of my detectives, and Olivia's like, so it's only a problem when I do it, because you were trying to take Velasco, and now I got both of them.
Yeah.
And she's like, McGrath and Muncie needed to be there.
I don't know what kind of type I was doing. I was trying to like type it.
And then Durante says Liv sees a little bit of herself in Muncie. And Olivia's like, we'll have to see, but I think honestly, yes, so far.
Yeah. I like this episode.
Oh, another thing in the Olivia and Muncie talk, literally like how they were both like, it's nice to have a woman to talk to. And I'm like, Olivia has Amanda.
Yeah, but Amanda's
like no hate.
Yeah, not allowed. We had a whole discussion about this. I don't know if you ever heard it because it might have been the reason that time.
But right now, so far, I'm not fully loving Muncie, but also it's probably because I mean I felt the same way about Velasco at the beginning, but it's literally just going to be because nobody's going to be loving the girl who's coming after Amanda Rollins.
Yeah,
it's going to be hard to see Olivia talking to anybody else, but I think, and I hopefully think this will help me. The Olivia and Amanda's relationship is friendship.
Literally, Olivia's one of the kids' godparents. Like,
yeah, Olivia is Billy's godmother. That's how close they are. Olivia and Muncie's relationship is probably going to be like mentor mentee.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll have to worry about that being like a friendship that's going to replace Rollins's, because nothing is going to be able to replace the friendship that she has with Rollins. Olivia was very clear on it when she said Amanda scared her when she got shot. Even after whatever Kelly's exit is, think Olivia is still going to have the friendship, and that with
Mhm.
Muncie, it's going to just be a new detective that she's training that happens to be a woman, that she'll talk to from time to time because she'll need another woman to talk to, but it's not going to be on the same level as the conversations that she has with Amanda.
For sure.
Okay,
Well,
how
I
many
like this
stars
episode.
do we give this?
4.5. I like this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna say 4. All
I
right,
mean, for
and
a
we get
for like a season opener, what I call it season opener, we pretend like
this pretty good.
the other one
Yeah.
was. It's pretty good. It was a good story. It's told really well.
Next week. Next
Next week
week.
is gonna be an interesting one. I mean, people from
Next
originally
week.
when this was rumored a while ago actually that
Mm-hmm.
they were gonna do like this type of episode, and
Oh
like
yeah.
people hated that idea when it
And
was released,
well, they're doing it.
and they're actually doing it. Okay, so we have to
So
explain to you what we're talking about.
first
So
off,
it's
the episode's the
called
mirror
Mirror
effect.
Effect.
That is the episode that David said is majorly releasey.
Yeah, we'll get. Yep.
Yay!
Yay.
Yay! I need it. So this episode, 99% sure, ripped from the headlines, based
Yes, for sure.
on
It's very much
very much
not a
based
lie.
on
There's no you
the
can't deny this one.
oh no, definitely the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial.
Yeah, literally that's what it
But
is.
with
Like
an SVU spin, because from the promo it literally looked like the girl was nothing like Amber, like is actually like sweet and maybe actually had something happen to her, but you never know because I very much
no
think
one
this is
knows because later on in the promo it's like Olivia, I think it's Olivia, says something like not all something about like it's not a perfect victim, I think is what she says. Because the girl was like, no one's gonna believe me later on in the promo. Which is the end.
and there's like courtroom signs and paparazzi and a whole bunch. Okay, now on to OC.
Yeah, this episode's possible. This podcast episode is
This
so
oh
long.
god, yeah.
I
This
keep them
episode
together because
called
it's easier.
Everybody Knows the Dice Are Loaded. And we start off the episode
Simple.
with like a weird like promo. Not
Or
really like a
casino.
promo,
I was like, what is
casino thing. I was like,
this?
is this an ad or is this a show?
Got a lot of money on that.
It's
Probably.
promoting the new casino that the Silas family is opening in the show. And I literally texted to you and I put this in the doc because the first thing we see is Elliot and Belle are coming to the opening of the casino. And I wrote, Belle in a gorgeous blue dress. I repeat, she's in a dress.
So good.
Fire emoji, all caps. Because
Yes.
we've never seen Ayana, as far as I'm pretty sure. We've never seen Ayana in a dress before.
Yeah, she wore
Just like
when they went to that other event, she had a pantsuit on. Like
yeah,
a pantsuit, but like
but oh
that
my freaking god,
so
she looked gorgeous.
so good. Yes.
Danielle is fucking stunning. And then I was like, oh, Elliot's wearing, a suit and tux and he's got his coat over his jacket. Whatever, I'm gonna keep looking at Ayana. Okay. Hold on, now I literally have to find a picture of the dress because
it's so good, y'all.
like it was that beautiful. Like I stopped.
I was also mostly outside during this incident, so then I rewatched it. So
I was like, oh my lord.
so,
All right, let me see. Hold on. It's literally at the beginning of the episode, so
it's the first
they're literally talking about the casino. Apparently someone's like they're joking around that Ayana brought Elliot as her date, and I'm literally just like ugh. And she's like laughing and joking, and I'm literally looking at her and just like, nope. She's not liking these people.
Nope.
We find out that this family trying to push an old guy out of his house because he's the reason the last
He's
reason
the only person in the apartment building. Literally all the people left except for him. They're always like, no.
They literally tried to give him
He's like,
They
I
literally
raised my
tried to,
kids here. My wife died here. I am not moving out. I was like, oh.
he literally tried to give him money and nope.
He's like, nah.
Oh, hold up.
I can just see this.
No, I'm seeing things, or maybe I'm not. Hold up, hold on. Let me see if I can find the picture of the get the dress before I. Interesting. Oh, okay. Belle's telling Elliot she doesn't like this political stuff, but I needed a date, and then she's like helping Elliot with his tuxedo. And it's basically like neither of them want to be there. They don't like
No.
political stuff, but Yana needed
I
somebody.
have a job to
Because
do.
Yana is the sergeant, she's got to do all this political stuff, and
playing
she
cowboy again. So we
has
just
to do this. So guess what? You're coming with me as my date. Hold on, if my thing will load, I'll actually show you the dress. We only saw like the top of it, and I was
yeah,
literally
but it was
like,
really pretty.
"Oh, come on!" I literally had it. Okay, hold on. Let me see what
Perfect.
comes next while I'm trying to freaking figure this out.
The next scene, I think, is straight to the next day. Well, no, there's some more stuff that happens.
I literally wrote Belle not loving these guys.
Yeah, she was like this. There's like
This is
Teddy, which is the guy, the husband's name. I forgot their names most of the time, but he gets upset about something. He acts kind of silly, really kind of foolish. I forgot what he's upset about, but he gets a little upset, and they're like, "That's embarrassing." He kind of acts up a little bit,
yeah.
and then it's like the next day.
Um,
This I don't know what else to
they're
talk about because I
literally
didn't
like
really detail this much.
talking
But
about. So then we get to the guy is like freaking out. Oh my god, the stupid pause button won't work.
yeah, Peacock kind of
They're talking to the guy. We
Oh.
transitioned to Teddy and this like construction dude on
Oh,
the
yeah.
thing, and then he's like, "All right, got it." Ooh,
But yes, it was. Yes,
ma'am,
we loved it.
ma'am,
Yeah, exactly. Like
fucking stunning. And then there's Elliot, but I'm literally just gonna be like there.
yes, we loved it. It's kind of funny.
I was like, need her to wear that dress again. Um. Okay, hold on. Let me pull up the doc again so we actually can get back on track. I found the picture. Okay. Yep. Good. And then Silas is basically telling the construction guy, like, I want you to take care of it. He didn't say that exactly, but he's like, I want you to do something about it. And we transition to the night where the guy, his name is Henry Cole, he's drunk. He's really drunk. And he's literally stumbling in his apartment. And then we see like this guy pull something out of his car, and I heard a noise. And at first I thought it was a snake. It was not, but we don't find out what it was until later. We hear like the little like animal noise. We see this guy flipping out. He stumbles back on his balcony and falls off his fire escape. Dead. It's on the news and everything. It is a weird transition because literally, as the guy fell and screamed to his death, they
You're like, bam,
transitioned to Elliot freaking lifting weights.
in the backyard in his apartment.
Like, okay.
Maybe hopefully he's fixed his apartment because I know the bombs of the last video.
I don't think he
Hopefully he's
cares.
hopefully he's fixed his apartment because like after that last
Yeah,
the
I don't
apartment
know.
was not in good shape after
And
the
then
last.
literally, Silas calls Elliot,
How'd
and
you
he's
get
like,
this man's
"Oh,
number?
I hope I
He's not
got
even sus
the
about
right
that.
number."
It's like, how are you
First
not
off,
sus about
how
this
the
man
hell
having your
did you
number?
get his? How did you get his number?
Like,
And
sir, you're
Elliot
not
is
thinking.
like, listening. So Teddy apologized for being rude and that he has rude at the casino event last night, and he has his support. That he's paying funeral expenses for Henry Cole because they felt so bad about what happened to
Yeah.
him.
He's like, I couldn't sleep last night.
I'm like, bullshit artist. And then Elliot hangs up and calls Ayana to meet for once instead of Ayana being like, we gotta talk.
He's just like,
then we get
Sarge, where you at?
yeah, Sarge, where you at? Can we talk? Then we get the OC promo, and Danielle has a new picture,
It's good.
and it's no longer the one with her short hair. She has her braid, and she's like in this like blue like
Yes.
blazer outfit.
They should have given Joe a new
So
one too, but they should have given Ansley a new one too because she has a different hairstyle, but they did.
Yeah.
So, whatever.
One step at a
Whatever.
time, though.
One
Maybe
step
because
at a
we
time.
have to. Maybe once they put the new guys in.
Yeah.
Because
Maybe I'm asking a little too much, but okay, we'll find out.
we'll
Maybe they'll put them in for realsies. They could just be sitting around and not putting them in the whole season.
And then literally the first scene back, we meet the first new detective.
Yeah.
And Jet's literally like at her like desk flipping through files. And the guy's literally next to her standing by the window drinking his coffee, and he's like, think you said squad room.
Yeah, I love that.
He's like, I didn't think a squad room would have oat milk, and then Jet's
nice
like,
coffee. This is
nice coffee and like oat milk, and then Jet's like, it's not a squad room, it's a task force. And then she's like, and then she says something about it's like, and things are labeled for a reason. And the guy literally says, you must be Jet. And she's like, you mean you saw that my name was on it and you used it anyway? I'm like, oh boy. Boy, I need to get on the right way. That's one way to start. Jet's already like, are you kidding me? Also, I forget who wrote it, and I will find out. But there's a fic that somebody did where they said that Jet was vegan, and honestly, with the oat milk thing,
I believe it.
They're getting closer. Maybe. So we know she drinks.
I keep forgetting to tell.
This is how much we need personal stuff.
Yeah, I keep forgetting every time.
I wrote Jamie Whalen, who was the new guy, drank Jet's oat milk. Freaking put that she drinks oat milk in our docs because we need personal stuff.
Yeah, I like every time I go get every time I buy the strawberries and cream Starbucks drink, I forget to tell them almond milk, and then my lactose intolerance hits, and I was like, oh.
I have to find the quote or the tweet because somebody did it. Talking about what Jet should do.
This is probably hilarious. I don't know what it is, but I know it's gonna be funny.
Hold on, I have a way to find it. Yeah, the Jet's literally like, you knew it had my name on it, and you drank it anyway. In her like, not necessarily like angry, but like her angry monotone tone. Hold up. Oh, found it. Okay. So Danielle first posted on Twitter, "Don't be drinking people's stuff in the work fridge, man." And then somebody on Twitter, should I credit them or should I not? I don't know.
I mean, somebody on Twitter is good enough.
I'm not gonna credit them just because I don't know if they want their name out in our podcast. They literally wrote, "I hope Dret drops his credit score or changes all his social media passwords. Yeah. She gotta do something." I was like, "Oh, that's hilarious."
It's credit score.
What? Okay. It's actually a task force, not a squad room. And then we transition to Elliot and Ayana talking, and he says Elliot Cece says he wants to go see the ME report because he doesn't believe that this makes sense. This guy just fell. Then Elliot sees like the new guy, and he's like, "Who's that?"
Oh, one of the old heads, and I was like, "Bro." Okay.
And Ayana is like, "Oh, that's a new detective. That's Detective Whalen." And Elliot's like, "I want old head." In other words, you want other old white men who are like you, who are gonna let your actions slide.
exactly what you want.
Sorry,
She was
y'all.
like,
Sorry, man.
"What-
Um,
what-
Ayana can't really hire other detectives your age because she has units to run with dangerous freaking criminals doing stuff. That's why you're the
which is-
only one your age on the unit. Everybody else has to run.
Yeah, you're too old for that, sir. You
Um,
keep forgetting you're not young.
And he's literally like,
We'll
I
make
know
a joke
these
about that.
guys who are like talking about TikTok, and Ayana's like, it's TikTok.
That's
Like, dude, your age is freaking showing.
Your age is
He's
showing
like,
me.
I don't care. And Elliot's like, okay, so what's so great about this guy anyway? And Ayana's like, they say he's a future stabler in the making, and I was like, oh, great. That's exactly what we need. So far, I'm not seeing that, to be quite honest. I'm not.
That's
Like, they said it,
severely,
I didn't see it at all. Not always. Not in everything, anyway.
not that far extent.
And then, Elliot says something, and then Ayana says, I believe the children are our future, teach them well, and let them lead the way. And I was immediately like, Ayana is quoting Whitney Houston! Yes! And Danielle tweeted, she's like, I love Whitney Houston. And I was like, I knew it immediately as she started saying it. And there's this song that I have for a fic idea that is a Whitney Houston song. And I'm like, well, now we're fucking using it because Ayana's freaking quoting it on the show.
I'm not ready for tears like that.
I didn't realize what you said. Ayana says for Elliot to take the new guy to lunch to get to know him. Elliot says for fish sticks and tater tots.
It's like, bro, that's delicious. What do you mean?
Really? That's delicious.
Delicious. Exactly.
He's not that young. You're just old.
Exactly. Like, bro, that's delicious. What do you mean?
Okay. And then they're like talking about like more stuff and how like Elliot wants to go investigate this. And Ayana's like, no, don't. And she's like, do you hear me? And Elliot's like, I hear you. And then she gives Elliot her look. That look that's like,
okay. I don't think you heard me, but whatever.
and then we're literally doing like another thing. And they're like, new guy just jumps the rail.
He does. He doesn't walk out the door. He kind of just jumps the rail. Like, what are you doing?
Whatever.
So that was kind of a funny scene for no reason.
We transition back to the couple.
I've forgotten their names. So that's why there's no names. I had forgotten about that.
The new couple. Teddy and I forget what the girl's name is.
Her name is Pearl, but they haven't said her name yet.
Teddy and Pearl. Okay.
They'll say it later.
The couple talks about how, because Pearl's like overheard Teddy talking to his dad, who has been on the show multiple times before. Because if you're good, you get called back to the show. If you can come back anyway. The couple talks about how Pearl thinks Teddy was involved, and he said he would never because he wouldn't put their casinos or their marriage at risk. Okay, we know you're involved, but
you know that's real obvious, but you know.
And then we transition back to Waylon and Stabler in the car.
In the car.
They're talking about like why you're at organized crime and stuff. And then Elliot's like, I don't like bullies, and I just started laughing. Like, I literally put three side laughing emojis. Yeah. I'm like, that's funny. Because to Barbara and many others, you are one. Yeah. And he's like, I don't like bullies. That's what organized crime is. That's why I'm here. And then they go to this
like, he describes it as like, literally it's like people who have power hurting people who don't, and like he goes into that kind of spiel and how like the stronger people pick on the weaker people. He's like, that's what organized crime is. And he's like,
that's what you do, man.
Like what you do, but you know,
no wonder why you love it so much. Yeah, you want to take down the people who are taking down people who don't have power, so you have more power. Yeah. Then we get to like they're talking to like I don't know, somebody one of the officers in the Cole's
Oh, yeah,
house. Well, they're trying to
they're
figure out the crime
looking at the
scene.
crime scene.
And then one of the guys literally says mentioned something about rats and looks right at Waylon, and Waylon's like, "What's that supposed to mean?" And the guy says something else, and then Elliot gets in his face and stands up for Waylon already, and I was like, "Okay." I wasn't paying attention to what he said. I just know that happened. Then we get to the hard part of the night.
Ooh, the hardest part. The hardest part of the night. It's like it's like, ooh, I heard it.
Ayana is
I
walking.
heard even more the second time.
I didn't watch it again. I didn't watch it again because I couldn't.
I did.
Couldn't.
Well, I watched it again and it hurt the second time.
And we literally see, so we transition to Ayana in like this really beautiful pantsuit, walking into a building, law building. She walks in, sees a bunch of like lawyers, and the first thing like one of them
She
says
had a
is,
conversation with Elliot before because she's putting on her jacket. Then she goes,
"Oh yeah,
I don't know what they talked about. They talked about something. Did she?
I don't know. I wasn't paying attention.
I wasn't either. Sorry. After the scene hit, I
I stopped freaking. I was freaking out. Yeah, literally, they walked.
I
She walks in
I was talking to this girl because we were at the sorority social, and this girl was interested in ours. And look, I had my phone in my hand because this I shouldn't have been doing this, but I did. And I see this scene. I was like, and I was like, oh,
pause. We're watching this.
throw up on
Okay.
the ground.
So Ayana walks
Anyway.
into the law firm building, and one of the lawyers says, "Up, okay, good. Now we're going to talk about custody." And my heart immediately dropped. I was like,
oh. Ayana still
my
has
God.
she has on her necklace still, the J necklace, and I was like, bro, this person even worse now. I noticed it the second time I watched it. Second time I watched, I did get something out the second time. I was like, oh, I'm gonna go cry now.
So yeah, as soon as she said custody, I was like, oh my God, this is really happening. They're actually doing this.
At least. Jack's at least 1.5. At least 18
This
months.
kid's gonna be like going back and forth between parent and parent. At least that's what I think they're doing.
Probably.
I don't know.
I
don't know
so.
if the actress who plays Denise is going to be on the show again after this or what, but I mean, my ideal ending is something. My ideal ending is something happens in the middle of the season, or like near the end of the season, that makes Denise change her mind, and then the divorce doesn't happen.
Yeah,
but
the divorce takes a long time, so it could. They may not.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm holding. I'm manifesting
fingers crossed
here, and I'm holding to it until said otherwise.
Yeah.
We were talking to our friends after the scene, and they're like, "They're making Belle get a divorce," and I was like, "Yeah, don't freaking know why."
At least they're putting it out there, you know. It may not happen, but
Like, first off, we're losing the only representation we had. And second, don't know if this has anything to do with it, but Danielle has been very open about the fact that she went through a divorce, and it was very hard for her. And if you know that, why are you making her act it out? With a different character. Like, it's still going to be hard for her. Like, yeah, we're probably going to get an amazing performance from her. We definitely did last night. But is that worth it if your actress might possibly be in pain?
Yeah. I didn't think too hard about that. Probably.
Anyway. Yeah, there's a custody battle. And then Iana's like, is there any way I could speak to Denise in private one more time before we do this? And then Denise like begrudgingly walks in the hallway with her, and they're like standing by this window, and she this is when you know it's hard on this. Ayana's voice is very steady most of the time. Her voice cracked, and she said, are we really doing this? Are you going to stop punishing me for doing my job? And then Denise says, you have 2 jobs, being a wife and a mother, and you abandoned them both. And it was like, we also find out that Ayana calls her D Denise. We have a nickname now. Don't know why they're telling us now.
Right now.
Because I literally texted you after the scene. I was like, I can't even write them anymore. Like, right now.
We hadn't read them in a minute, but we had a lot of Bella for the resistance because it's necessary.
Yeah,
And
and then
we'll get
Ayana
back to it
says,
eventually.
"Don't just throw this away. We don't need lawyers. We can do this on our own." And then Denise says, "Our life is not a case to crack, Ayana. And there's more, something else, I think." And then by this
Those are
time,
some
I'm already crying
sadness.
again. This is the second time I cried tonight. First with Olivia and now with Bellox. And then
What the scene was before I'll mention I'll say because I remember. It was like Ayana was like, "You're ignoring me. You're not answering my texts or my calls. You moved in with your sister.
but yeah,
Can't
we
we
find out
just like,
Denise's sister.
well, can't we just like talk about this?" And she's like, "No."
Um and so I like Denise. I mean, I've started to be like iffy ever since she took
Yeah.
Jack and ran. But this next
Yeah.
line, I was like,
I was like,
rude AF. She
yeah.
literally looked, I mean, look, I get it. She's hurting. She
Yeah.
really thought like she didn't have her wife and her partner to support her as a mom. But she literally looks at Ayana and said, "Sit your ass down. We're getting a divorce."
I was like,
And then I started crying
and kind of real
for her.
shook though. I was
Said it
like,
out loud. And then she um drops Denise's Ayana was like holding her hand. Denise like physically drops it and walks away. And I'm just crying into a pillow. It hurt.
They
Didn't even
made
pay
Denise
attention to what
yeah,
happened
they made
next.
Denise really
Because I was
cold.
crying.
They made Denise
We find out the new
really
guy here.
cold for no reason.
Oh,
Like
then we
Denise
find
is
out.
not one.
Sorry, go ahead.
They made Denise really cold for no reason.
Oh yeah,
Like,
definitely. Like it's
like
almost like then
it's,
like I'm like, why?
I'm like, this isn't like they could have talked this. That's when we have therapy. There's plenty of steps you take before divorce,
Yeah.
and immediately divorce is not the option.
Yeah, did
Some
they ever say they did
therapy.
therapy? Did they say
No,
they
they
did
never.
therapy?
They didn't know. They just switched straight
No,
to
they should.
because it's
Anyway.
like organized crime isn't as good with time because they don't have your time cards. But
No.
roughly, it's about the same time. It would be like if it roughly was the same time, like all the shows kind of use the same kind of dates. So like that was like May. So it's only been like June, July, August, September, 4 months or almost 4 months, and like divorce is still the option. No, it's not.
No. Okay.
Anyway, we'll move on. Give a whole
Then we transition to, I guess now this is why Ayana calls her the new detective, future future Elliot Stabler in the making, because apparently he has a temper, and he said, "This is he saying this to Elliot?" This line, "Don't you ever fight my battles for me."
No, Elliot sang it to him because
Ah,
I forgot the reason is, but like he did something and he tries to step in. Elliot, did you ever
all
fight
right. I
my
take
battles
back
for
what I
me?
said. Elliot's getting mad at the new guy again. They said, "Don't you ever fight my battles for me." He hates dirty cops, or the new guy hates dirty cops.
You got history. I should have labeled this. I was gonna speed
Yeah,
rush
the new guy hates dirty cops. Oh, let's see how you do at Stabler then if you hate dirty cops.
because Elliot's like I hate dirty cops too. I hate the Brotherhood. He brings up the Brotherhood in the moment.
You did. And I was too busy crying to notice. Anyway,
Yeah.
um,
Well, adjustment. Sorry, keep going.
then
I'm
we
trying
get
to look
to
at the
them
title
at
for the
the
next episode.
literally get to back to the construction site, and they see like the um Henry's daughter like having to take the shrine down. They're like, Elliot's like, they're making you take the shrine down, and she's like crying about like, and they literally had to tell her that her dad literally was possibly murdered.
Mhm.
And they say something about how technically the building is a crime scene, so she can move her like
They don't have
stuff
to
there.
they can't tear it down. It's a
They can't
crime
tear it
scene.
down because it's a crime scene. And she like thanks him, and then like there's this like car bomb thing, and Elliot like blocks her. Or there's like dust, and we see like the
Some like debris falls, and they're like, "The guy's like, you should have a hard hat here." I was like, "Right."
um And again, Elliot did what he wasn't supposed to. Surprise, surprise.
Like every day.
We find out that this guy, they go to the ME because they go to the ME, and then we find out this guy has rat bites on his feet.
Yeah.
Ew. Then we go back to the bureau. They're talking about how like we find out Jet is the one who finds out that they're rat bites because of course she does. She talks
She really
about
knows so much.
like this like group of NYU students that did a study on rats in the pandemic. And here's a word I never thought I'd hear Jet say, but she did, and I love that she did because frick it, we're going to use it in everything from now on. She literally said, I'm kind of a fangirl of them. And this is where I'm getting annoyed again. Because Elliot and the new guy are like joking and like laughing at her saying this. And Jet is very serious about this. Like, this is something that she's very, very interested in. And if your colleagues are interested in something, you probably shouldn't laugh at them. But Elliot's like standing there, like the big smirk on his face, chuckling, and he's like, "You're a fan of rats?" And then Jet's like, "No, I'm a fan of their research." And I literally wrote, Elliot thought she was crazy. Like, no. Frick you. She can talk about fangirl what she wants. Okay. Then we transition back to Silas talking to his dad. And the bad guy's dad doesn't like the wife and says he needs to grow up because he's second in command. But Teddy's very much in love with Pearl. So there's
Pearl.
dilemma.
At least we know for certain they love each other, not like the we.
Yeah, it's not like Angela and Richard. They actually really love each other.
They were a mess.
Then we transition to Jet and the new dude in the lab field.
Yeah,
the dudes are talking, like the two techs are literally talking about the rats, and then this is like I had to stop for a moment because I was like, Jet, ma'am. Jet's literally like leaning against a cabinet. Her head is tilted to the left, and she literally goes, I can't do it. But she's like, that's so cool, Miles. And I was like, did that just come out of her mouth? Like that? I was like, I don't know if this is a ploy or like she's being genuine. I was like, it sounded like the tone that like a girl uses when like she has a crush on somebody and she's daydreaming. And she's like, yeah, that type of thing. And you wrote, I think she admired his work and was excited about it. And I was like, I think it was past excited. And I was like, so yeah, that's something I never thought we'd hear from Jet, but it's definitely interesting. But I think it did end up turning out to be a ploy because like literally they're like, you need to tell us what you need to tell us what's going on with your rats and the information.
We're arresting you right now. And they were like, fine.
And then we get back to the precinct. Elliot,
Anna's on the phone.
Gets off the phone. And then Elliot, she hangs up, and Elliot's like, Denise. And then the first thing Ayana says, which finally she fucking said it out loud, was, do you respect me? Do you respect me, Elliot? Which I'm assuming is what the phone call is about. That
and the fact that he assumed it was Denise was something, I was like, that's not. I think he was getting a little in trouble about. Somebody probably told him, it was like, your detective has an investigation.
Yeah, do you respect me? Do you respect me, Elliot? I'm gonna pause because the thing's gonna go away soon. So
yeah, it's gonna go
last thing. Do you respect me? Do you respect me, Elliot? She said it out loud. She said it out loud. Fucking finally.
Yep,
all right. The one time I want this thing to disappear, it's still staying. And then Elliot's like, of course I do. And Ayana's like, then why did you not follow my orders? As usual. And Elliot's like, what does that mean? And she said, you open it and investigate. Okay. All right. Where did I leave off? Okay. She said, "You opened an investigation on Henry Cole's death. I told you to check in with me first." Elliot says, "Who told you that?" And then this is the line of
Yeah.
one of the lines of the night. Elliot says, "No, no, no." Sorry. Ayana says, "No, no, no. You're not asking me questions. I'm asking you questions. We've been down this road before. I will not be undermined. Is that clear?" Mic drop.
And I was like,
Finally.
oh
Finally.
shit, here we go.
We're doing this. He said, "Very clear."
And basically, I was like a typo. He was like, I got the immediate report, and she was just like, he was saying some other stuff that didn't make a lot of sense of what his plan was. She says, Elliot, everything that has to go through, it has to do with the casino is political dynamite. It has to be him with tactical strategy. He's like, well, they aren't my strong suits. And she's like, well, they are mine. And anything, it's anything we do, we have to do together. Agreed. He's like, agreed. I'm sorry.
I think I'm like, half of me is like, that apology is genuine, and the other half of me is like, I don't know when any Elliot Stabler apology is genuine, so who knows.
I'm gonna avoid getting in trouble, probably. But she's like,
And then he's like, Elliot asked if they needed clearance for once. No. So they go in a car. Actually, I don't know. Something happens in between. I don't remember. Then the next big thing is they're in the car and they're talking. And Eliana's like, "Oh, well, we all." I was thinking maybe Denise is right. All I ever had time for with my career, was it worth it? Elliot says, "Oh, all I can say is I was married a long time, and I ask myself that same question every day, if I'm being honest. The only reason it lasted is because Kathy made it work."
I'll speed typing. I said all these typos. Oh,
Lacey finally gave her credit. Go, Kathy.
no, listen. I think this is an interesting point. It's very weird. I don't the way that he didn't say we made it work. He said Kathy made it work.
Did he really not care if it ended?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or she did all the work because
she became the she compromised more than he did. You know, she was taking care of the kids and
yeah, she's like,
still he's like, yeah, I go to work every day.
I wonder, like, if she made it work, I wonder if she did it for her, or if she did it for him, or if she did it for the kids.
Yeah, because they had Eli, and they were like, well, because it's in.
Yeah. And then Elliot says, "I was a crap husband," and Iana says, "You're admitting that?" And then Elliot says, "I'll admit that if you say you're a crap wife." And then the two start chuckling, and I'm like,
Yeah,
why
so
are we
at least
laughing about this?
I don't like
Why
this
are we
part, but
laughing about this?
at least they have some happiness. Laugh
Yeah,
about
no,
something.
literally,
It's all
one
sad.
happy moment. Fine, I'll give you that. And they said, "We're both terrible. At least we have our jobs." Okay, but that's also part of the
wrong
reason
kind of
why you
wear.
don't have your wives.
Yeah, literally. He's
Where,
like,
and
where
you
else?
said, yeah, go ahead.
I put the wrong where, but that's fine. Where else can you drive to? What saying? What kind of job would you have? Where else can you get? Where else do you get to drive to the Bronx and get paid for it with a good friend? It's just like,
And then we go talk to this animal dude who has all these rats and illegal stuff. And I put
they
Danielle's
really find him in a bush with some snakes, and I was like,
and then literally, like they literally find like this, like the gate where they like have to go enter this like thing. And Yana immediately goes, "Hell no." And Danielle tweets, and I had to put this in, and she said, "Hell no. Belle so black. I love me. Her."
she's true. That would not be
And then
funny.
literally, like the way she said it, like that is like I definitely very much Ayana Danielle sass. I loved it. So they talk to this animal dude who's literally comes out of this grass with freaking cheese snakes in his hand. I'm like, we transition back to the guy, to Teddy and Pearl. Teddy got Pearl a 6-carat ring before she only had a 5. We think they're both kind of cool. We think the girl might actually be good.
I don't
Like,
think
maybe
Terry's
if
that
you
bad
don't get
either.
if you don't
He
get him,
wants,
like, I think it's literally because his dad is
yeah, he put
influencing
him
him.
on a,
Like, but if you don't get him, if he's not angry, then you won't be dead.
yeah, I don't hate them. They might have some potential. They're cool, actually.
Well, and literally, it's their first episode, and they're already showing them having sex.
Yeah, they did. They started smooching, and then they got a little further. Than you're like, oh.
And then Daryl's like, "We should go inside." And
So you're
then
outside on the patio. Let's go.
and then
Let's
Teddy's
go.
like, "No, let the whole city watch." And
I
I'm
said,
like,
oh,
"It's your first
no.
episode.
There's
We're
a
already
thing for it.
here." Okay. Um. Then we get to the next big point. Two big points. The first thing, Jet's looking at like footage on her computer of like the guy they think bought another animal or something, and they're like trying to analyze the coffee cup. And the new guy is leaning over her. He's like right by her shoulder. His like arm is right by her shoulder. His face is right by her ear, and she says space. My eyes went
How did we
so
predict that?
wide because we were right. We
Yeah.
said, and the truth runs deep back in chapter 8, which is like
Well, the
last
truth and
year
nothing but the truth.
now. They said the
Yeah.
truth runs deep. I
Dang,
read
bro,
the
you've
truth,
read that story that long?
but the truth,
You've
which
been
is like
writing
a
that
year
story.
now.
You've been writing this story for
When we
that
wrote this.
long. That's crazy.
That
It'd be a year in
yeah,
December. See, wrote it, started
wow.
it right after winter break. So therefore, it's been around almost a year.
Yeah, so we wrote that like Jet has like major problems with space, and it's big thing of like a plot point that happens to her.
Mhm.
And now she's literally telling this guy, space, like, you're getting up in my space, move the frick away, I'm uncomfortable. It was like, oh my god, she said it out loud. It's canon. But also, you get the way away from her, you're too close. What gives you the right to lean over her like that?
Yeah, don't be close
Um,
up to that's weird.
then they're all talking about like how there's this. Sorry, anything else you have to say about
No,
Jet's
that's
thing?
it.
Okay, yeah,
You were
she
right.
said space. She
You were
has a
right.
problem
You know,
with space.
see, they
They
should
could get
hire us
her
to write
personal
this show.
space.
They should hire us to
No.
go write their show for them. We'll write organized crime too. It'll be better than
Mhm.
before.
Okay.
I
Then
told
they're
you,
all
woke
talking about how
entertainment.
like they have
Send it to me.
another new detective coming, and they're all like talking. And they're like, "He's late. What are they gonna do?" And then this has to be possibly the coolest
It was pretty cool.
character entrance ever. It was so cool. I literally wrote one hell of an entrance fire emoji. We see this guy coming in, like repair guy. He's head down, talking, goes over to Jet's computer and like
Look at that coffee cup.
starts doing it, and Jet's like, "Who is this dude touching my computer?" And then the guy's like talking about like you gotta like enlarge this on the coffee cup. And then I think it's Ayana who got it first. She's like, and then she says the like the guy's name, I think, and we find his name is Bobby Reyes. And everything like stops for a moment. He backs up, takes off his hat, turns around, and says, "Hello, Sergeant."
You came in like that. I was like, oh.
That's
He's,
awesome.
he's like, he's good at undercover and good at
Bobby, get undercover now. Go, go.
Yeah, he literally showed up
We will
undercover. He's like,
fucking
hey,
do it. I have
do
ideas.
myself. We'll get some more information. Report back to y'all next week if we do it.
So he literally because he's like the invisible dude, like nobody notices him,
Yeah, just little by
which is
little.
gonna come in very handy. And then they all like, yeah, they're all talking. The Jet literally walks in this blue top and skirt, which is
Real
super cute. Even Danielle was like, Jet's outfit is super cute, and I was like,
Yes.
I forget what I wrote why I said this, but I said Jet and Jamie aren't vibing so well. So far things were happening. They weren't vibing so well. They go they find out that yes, Henry Gold's death wasn't fully a homicide. It was wasn't suicidal
suicide
or an accident. It was death by rats.
What a way to go
That's
out.
gotta
Just
be
rats.
one hell of a thing to right on a cause of death sheet. Cause of death,
Rats.
rats. And it's because the rats have sepsis.
Yeah.
So the footage that Jet and Reyes were looking at earlier with the coffee cup is another guy that got bit by rats. I think because he bought them. I don't know.
Yeah, I
Anyway,
think he bought them.
they had to go find
Because
him.
the animal guy is like, I sold those rats to that guy.
Yeah.
Totally.
So they have to go get him from the hospital to arrest him. And they go, Reyes and Ayana do. And they go in and he's not there. And I love when they have like
funny.
side characters have one-liners. Because literally Ayana and Reyes go immediately have to run out of the room to go find him. And the nurse is like, where did I put it?
She's like, what
Is
the
this
hell?
guy determined to lose a kidney today? It was so funny.
She's like,
And
what the
then
hell? She says that. I was like, that's
somehow they like follow this dude to a club, and this part's hilarious. This is weird, but also hilarious at the same time. They're all literally in the thing. This is where we get Jet in the rap dress from the promo. And they're all like standing in the club, literally like sticking out like sore thumbs at first. And then Elliot is like, I think Elliot or Rihanna. One of them is like, Jet, Jamie, go cut a rug. And Jet's like, cut a rug?
What does that mean?
What the hell? Which reminds me, how young Jet is. But also, I'm the same age as her, and I knew exactly what that meant. And I was like, oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. And then Chet's like, literally her arms crossed, and she's like, cut a rug. And Ayana says it's old people slaying for dance. And Jet's like, no, I don't. And the new guy says orders are orders and takes her over the dance floor. And I'm literally like, what the frick is going on? So they got Reyes work like looking, invisible dude going through the club. Elliot and Ayana going through it while Jet and Jamie are trying to blend into the crowd, dancing. I didn't see what Jet was doing. My dad was like,
"She's a
she's
little
right.
tiny, she's a little like she's like a little shimmy. She's not really.
Oh, girl, so comfortable."
Because Jamie wants to look like they're dancing together, so she's facing him, and she's doing like a little shimmy.
This is where we get to the point of the night where I got questions and anxiety and problems all wrapped up into one. Cause Jane. Okay, I'm gonna describe it while I go pull up the clip. So Jamie moves behind Jet. Jet like manages just like a little shimmy. She like moves back to him, and like there's a moment where they stop, and it looks like Jet is like really close to him, almost like up against his chest. And like the camera stops for a moment, they stop for a moment, and I'm like, did they just have a moment? What's going on? Because my dad had been teasing me the entire time of the episode, because we haven't seen Malachi yet this season, that, oh, that's gonna be Jet's new thing. And then the dance thing happened, and I'm like, please, for the love of God, do not be right.
Only episode
Because
2.
the way that Jamie was acting, that's how Malachi was at first, and that's how things started. And I'm like, no. But also really confused, because as far as we know, last season when they were at Elliot's cross thing, they were holding hands. It seemed like they were okay. They made up. But there's no sign of Weesam this season. He hasn't posted anything about the show in a long time. Ainsley hasn't posted anything about Malachi in a long time. getting concerned.
Maybe let's
And
pop.
I'm
Also, like
not.
the thing is that like they only made Jellicoe a plot. Made Jellicoe I think for a plot point. So if they don't have a reason for it to be a plot point, they're not going to do anything with it. Much like they literally did anything else more.
And I was like,
So
why? Yeah,
and
why build up
they have
all
to
this
have a
stuff
they
with
have to have a good reason. They have to come up with a reason why they want more character. They can't just they
why?
wouldn't just do it for the fluff. It was like you want. They'd
Why
be like,
bring
we're
up
gonna
all
put a
this
plot
stuff with the kissing and the first date? First, the dinner, him asking for the dinner date and the hand holding and the shoes if
point.
you're not going to do anything with it. And I am not the type of person who wants to go like directly tweet the actor and be like, hey, are you coming back on the show? I'm
Give me
very
a surprise.
close to. Because I need to freaking know. Like,
Confirmation.
I need confirmation. If he says he's coming back, cool. If he says, I would love to come back, but I haven't heard anything yet, but the door is still open, fine. If I hear, no, I'm not coming back, I'll be very sad, but at least I'll know.
Just floating around in the air for the past 7 minutes.
Okay, hold up. Let me see. I'm almost at the scene because I like fast forwarded really fast. Here, I'm just gonna play the entire scene just because it's really funny and hopefully you'll be able to see the audio. Oh, yep. Found the fucking moment.
Because like I was gonna like we were gonna put the podcast
Found
on
the
YouTube.
fucking moment.
We were gonna put the podcast on YouTube for a bit, but like the thing is YouTube is real serious about copyright claim. That's
I got
yeah,
questions.
yeah, YouTube is real serious about copyright claim, and that's the only reason why I have to put it on YouTube. If you show a video, they're gonna copyright.
So,
yep.
on one hand, I was on one hand, I was like, oh, that's a moment. On the other hand,
I'm like,
he looks dangerously close to her. Almost like the look on his face is slightly possessive, and Jet's just like,
I don't like this.
Thinking about it, but also looks like she could possibly be into it, and I'm just fucking confused at this point.
Okay.
What is going on? The problem is when I have a ship, I get attached very fast. I am very attached to Jellicoe. I don't need and we're already losing Bellox. I don't know how I'm gonna deal if we have another jet ship that we don't even know what's happening.
Yeah.
But I know this is like an undercover like shit sting stuff, but like they're fucking like intending something doing this, and I don't know why.
We might live. If not, we have our fan fiction. That's what we're doing.
I know, but I'm tired of going to fan fiction for everything.
We're really writing a fan fiction for everything. We have like 4 or 5 unfinished. You thought it was just like one. Now it's a bunch. We're just like, oh, idea, right? And then like, oh, forgot. Because the only reason why the resistance is not out is because there's like several chapters in truth that need to be put in so that the resistance has its like the path that leads to the resistance happening. This is why you can't do it. Whoopsie whoopsie. But I guess we need to move on because this episode's gonna be like 3 hours long if we don't keep going. We're almost done. This is like the 5th Zoom we've done. If you haven't counted.
Hold on. Do we still have more time? Because I'm about to play the entire scene together because we got a fucking problem. We got a fucking problem. I know I stopped my camera because I had to do something. We got a fucking problem. Boy or not, it looked like Jamie was about to grab her waist. And I need to fucking get my thing to work because I need to fucking play it because we got a fucking problem if that's true. For reasons. Not just Jellicoe reasons, but the frick are you doing touching her waist?
Yeah, I don't like that like I know because we know how Jet is about space and being touched.
He literally said it to her. She said it to him. Like, I don't want to hate this character already, but it ain't going great. All right, okay, so while I'm looking for this,
Well, we want to keep going because we have like 20 minutes to get this done.
yeah, so
Well, I think
literally, like they're dancing, and then he sees the guy, and then he's like, Jet has to grab his arm and is like, Jamie, slow down. And the guy sees him, and she's like, shit, you've been made. And they all have to freaking run out of the building.
Yeah, I think he's gonna have the bottle. He's hit with something.
Okay,
I think
so
it's a
yeah,
bottle.
when he's pulling her over, she doesn't look happy. She's like, okay, here, scene. We're gonna play the scene. Don't know if we're gonna be copyrighted, but this belongs to NBK.
I don't think for some reason I think it's the audio. It's actually I think it's the audio that actually gets copyright cut, not the video for some reason.
Okay,
YouTube,
we're using it for the audio, the visuals.
Y'all can read the subtitles. You can go
Using
watch
it for
the episode.
visuals.
We're encouraging you to watch the episode. Not really, but like we're telling you to watch the episode so you can give NBC their money, or you can let's go to if you want.
All right, let's try. Let's see if this will work. You ready?
Yeah.
Can I click play?
Yeah.
Just so you know, it is actually blue. That's not my.
Yeah, the club is like electric blue going on. Just like, okay, Apple Watch, calm down. It's like your battery is low. I know.
Get out there, cut a rug, keep an eye on Kenny, don't get made.
Hopefully we don't talk about cut. If not, just cut this like see that.
Orders are orders.
Yeah, she doesn't really like.
He's like, why are you pulling me over there?
Yeah.
She didn't look happy.
My
Future mayor hanging out with two degenerates.
also, if you get this, actually put it with a.
That's the guy they're chasing.
Yep.
Bobby, stay by the main entrance. Copy that.
Oh, he's bartending.
Oh yeah, he's still vibing. Yeah, this is a senior type. It's real weird. Oh, it's full of comfortable nature. Let's do it. I guess
Upstairs, VIP area. I got eyes on him. He's on the move. Jamie, slow down. He made you.
All right, I got a question. What is she doing? Are we calling him by his first name?
that is kind of something. I guess, and well, in a sense, it kind of makes sense. If they're in a bar at a club, and did not know they're covered, his first name would make more sense. Just logically, you know.
Wait, she checks on him when he's hit with the bottle?
I think it's a bottle. I think she's smacking.
No, he's the one hit with the bottle?
There's somebody he gets hit with something, and I think the scene there's a sound of a bottle cracking. I think somebody smells like a bottle. I think it's really quick.
Okay, yes. Then everybody rushes out of the club. And then the guy they're chasing gets in a car, like pulls a woman out of the car, gets in the car. Elliot runs in the freaking street for whatever freaking reason. And gets hit with the side of the car.
Yep.
And then Ayana has to pull him up. And like he's like holding onto his back, like 60-year-old.
I how old he was for a second. I did not think that. You know.
All right, hold on. And then literally they end it, and Ayana's like, it was a homicide after all. Oh my god. Okay. Think that's it. I don't even remember what the promo was for next week.
I will have to watch it. I've linked them all, but the episode is called "Catch Me If You Can," and basically they're still chasing that. You can watch it. I don't know if we can play it, but you can watch it. But yeah.
yeah, this is what happens when I freaking analyze these things over and over again. When Jamie told Jet orders are orders, she like slightly moved back a bit, and when he's like staring at her, it'll be like, "We are gonna go dance," and she's like, meaning. So, you know how we fucking wrote sexual harassment thing for Jet
Yeah.
and the truth?
Yep.
Am I gonna have to fucking do it again and change the person? Because I don't want to. I
Hold
mean,
on. We'll give him a couple weeks. And if we
yeah, literally, I'll give
change
him.
it,
I'm giving you next week, sir. If you do it again, all bets are off. Okay, what are we gonna give this episode? So fucking rambling right now.
It's not the okay. So basically, it's not the worst episode they've written, but it's not definitely not good either.
I give this 3.5. I like
Yeah.
they did pretty good at like introducing the new characters.
Yeah,
They had like
that was fun.
interesting.
Yeah, 3.5.
So far, I'm
Three.
liking one more than the other.
Yeah, because it's not as bad
I'm
as like
liking
there's some
more than
bad
Waylon
OC
for
episodes. This is
reasons.
not.
So yeah, I give it 3.5
Yeah.
stars.
The trailer basically had 20. The trailer because it's very basically they're still chasing that guy. He steals another car and they're chasing him up.
Okay.
But the car he steals the second time has a baby in it. Like
Oh yeah, that part.
Yeah.
Oh
somebody's
yeah, there's a oh
baby
yeah,
in it.
she had literally someone's on a stabler. There's a problem, and then they transition to a crying baby. So they gotta get the car back because there's a baby in it.
That's literally what it's called.
I watched the scene again.
No, it's not. It's called Catch Me If You Can.
Jet, wait, Catch Me If You Can.
Yeah, it's called Catch Me If You Can. I had to go Google it because I forgot.
There's a movie and a musical that's about that. It's based on the true story, like the true story of I'm gonna butcher the name possibly Frank Abagnale Jr., who
There's a
like
book.
ran from
Okay.
crime for years because he kept changing his different personas, and eventually the FBI caught him. He was in prison for a while, and then ended up working for the FBI with all the different personas that he has instead. So I'm curious if they're gonna end up bringing that back for like anything with the episode, or they just thought it sounded cool.
Who knows?
All right, I gotta stop fucking watching the scene because I keep
Okay,
finding
stop.
more details.
Like 9 minutes.
The
We have like
guy
9
when
minutes,
he
and then we
pulls
need to wrap.
when he
We gotta
pulls
wrap the episode in the next
Jet
9 minutes.
and he pulls Jet on the floor, her face is just like half of it's like she's basically like just hold on, let me see if I can describe it. She like blinked once, almost like kind of like defeated, almost like it was anxious again. Like this guy is ordering me around. I have to go do it. It's kind of similar to the facial expression she had last week after she had to say the not project my fears and anxieties onto the CI's line. That type of feeling. Also, if we want to, we keep going on our Jalo thing until we fucking get answers. We can be like Tab Jet Child Malachi that they had to do this and his reaction and be like, yeah, it was uncomfortable.
So
All right.
like,
I think that's what the episode said. What are we doing now?
Yeah, we're gonna wrap up because I'm tired. I have to get up early before I get up to do this job. So we have
Oh yeah, your thing.
we have like 7 minutes. So what do we want to talk about in the next 7 minutes? Because when it goes boom, we
Big
have to
stuff.
talk about-
Big
Oh,
stuff. Do we wanna
we have to, so big stuff.
do
Yes.
we wanna say
We'll
what
do
we've
it.
been doing?
Yeah. Okay.
So a lot of it recently has been we have a new Liana fic in the process since the divorce. And we've been writing a whole bunch of Sam and Nolan stuff because we want that now. We love it so much. And we've come up with a whole new case, some more connections, brought people back, chaos, music.
Good. It's a good
Love
story.
it.
Yep, we got some more.
How much
work.
of the details do we want to bring in?
Well, people don't know
I
a lot
might
about
have
the
one more
resistance at all.
detail.
Because okay, so we said at one point that the was maybe like a couple episodes ago, we talked about how like like resistance takes two paths, and one of them is the successful path, and one of them is a non-successful path. But after the successful path, there's like people who we haven't mentioned yet. I can't say their names because we don't know. But they didn't know. Well, not they didn't know, but they were on this first like successful path. So we're giving them their own journey to get to their success in this story. I think that's the best way to describe it without saying who or what.
Sorry, I'm listening. I'm watching the scene again.
Ah! So, you're making it fair.
Oh, yep. There's another detail. It's literally blink and you miss it detail, but because they have to look like they're dancing, she's got her fuck. Can't speak. She's got her hands on his arms. Ah. That's not my good at. You would know.
Yeah, I know. Oh, I know.
Hold on, let me see if I can pull it up or if I missed it.
But
Okay, yeah. So we brought in these new characters. What do we want to say about
no,
Sam and
we
Nolan?
can't say any who they are because
We can't.
Well, we told you who two of them were. We said it's Sam and Nolan aren't doing this. We didn't say that earlier.
Well,
But
because
what
it's
they
in the
did-
show.
We literally put them together and put them in the story because it's in the show. And their story's fun. I think we have them good. I want to detail it out a little more though. We'll detail it out a little before and after that part of the story. And it's fun. There's some other characters we can't. We've added a couple more mothership characters because they need to be there, and a lot of like former SVU characters we put in and giving them a
Yeah, and
part of the
they
story.
get their time in the
And
spotlight.
it was really fun to give people the fun part was like giving characters jobs because you get to
The hardest
things
part
for,
was trying to figure out personalities of
yeah
characters
what
that aren't all the screen all the time.
yeah, which is fun. You can be creative, and then like giving them a job, giving like male characters jobs. Some female characters have jobs,
That
but
aren't-
only like a few of them do. But like giving them
Yeah,
a job that fit their personality, but also didn't like completely not work. So there's some fun stuff going on. There's that needs to be. Hopefully, y'all maybe in the next month or so. No
Okay.
promises.
Not the best thing.
Yeah,
but
I see it. I
her
can see it.
her thumbs.
Yeah.
I can't.
I'll
pull
probably go
her thumbs.
when I
I
edit
can't
this. I'll
put
probably
any
go
more.
start
I'm gonna
listening.
lose the picture again. But
Yeah. Oh,
well, I
like,
mean, I guess it gives me
enhancement
proof
that
of the fact that Jet can do undercover in the casino. Maybe. I don't think any like the main people saw her, so maybe she can. But okay, yeah. What else do you want to say about the fic? Because if you can, I'm up to writing some more.
Writing some more. What else do we have to say? That we promised we're gonna get back to the truth and nothing but the truth. We just got distracted.
Yeah, we will. I know. Literally, we have the next chapter written. We just have to post.
Literally in its final editing.
It's written. I have the references somewhere. I just
literally. That's
we literally just need to put it all together and post it.
Yeah, because a lot of time we write in chunks, which is like, all right, this part of the story, this part, and then we put it together in a chapter. Well, usually there's sequence. Sometimes it's sequential, sometimes they're not. Sometimes we're just like idea, write all of that idea that was before this or after this, put that in there too. So, and then it's not always in order, which is also why sometimes we're like, this isn't done. There's a whole scene missing. So we're like chunk missing. So yeah, that's how kind of our style has been. But we're really excited to keep put stuff out. Well, we haven't put anything out in months. I don't know, a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff's birthday pic was the last week we published. It's good. We're glad you guys really like that. I might check in a minute.
Yeah.
I'm glad you like it. I love what else you do. Glad you like it. Anything else you want to talk about the fix? We have like 4 minutes.
No,
before
sorry,
we
I started again. Oh,
go.
I mean, totally not on topic, but you know, how I watched the Hocus Pocus 2 movie today. So good. Like nothing's gonna top the original, obviously, but I think it was like a really great way to wrap up it. I thought it was not the like storyline. I was not expecting it, but I loved it. Did you ever watch the first one?
I have not. I think I'll
Okay,
watch the movie.
that is
I'm
I'm giving you a job for the month of October.
I will get to
Watch
it at some point.
Watch
At some
it.
point.
You
We'll find.
absolutely you would love it.
No, that's the main thing. I'm
The
living nonstop for days.
I won't say anything like give any spoilers, but the beginning of the second one, all I could think about was our fic.
Mm.
I was like, oh my god, our fic. It was really good. Yeah, we should write some more.
Yeah, we're gonna get to
Because
write. We're gonna get to writing on this. We'll get back to writing.
okay, we still got 3 minutes if we just want to keep going till the end of this.
Yes.
So we did all 3 shows.
Yeah, for once, some of us can be like 3 hours long.
Excess
It's long.
details. No, I can't. That's Chicago stuff.
I did watch that. I probably watched it.
Did you watch them this week?
I watched PD, but like I probably don't watch videos. I think I came back from just
I watched Fire. I know. I like came home from work and I was able to watch Fire and PD. PD, I got questions.
I watched
Like
it. Oh, I know. We did talk about that. You and I did talk about that.
they're like so. Jesse Lee Sulphur is leaving Chicago PD. Like Amanda is. I mean, Kelly's leaving SBU. I have no idea what the heck they're doing with Jay, but the end of the promo ended up with literally Haley crying, talking to him, and I'm like, stop it, stop it, stop it, no, no, cut it out. No. Also, because you know me so well, you sent me the picture of Marina, who plays Burgess, and her daughter, who sometimes I forget actually has a child in real life. Wicked opened up in Chicago yesterday, and they went and they were both dressed in costume, and I thought it was the cutest thing. But you sent it to me, and I was like, ah! She's like,
Marina was like, Marina's caption was like, I was the only adult dressed in costume.
Wasn't embarrassing, you bet. But my daughter was so happy.
About to go boom in less than a minute. So thank you all so much for listening to this.
We're gonna that's a rambling. So yeah, we talked about all 3 shows. We gave our reviews. We'll be back next week. Thank you for listening.
Yeah, it's about to go boom. We don't know when yet. It says less than a minute on the Zoom. So it'll just go boom.
You get to look at our smiling faces until it ends.
Yep. I don't know when it started saying less than a minute, so it could be 5 seconds from now. It could be now. That's happening.
Can people leave reviews?
Yes, you can.
Really?
On Spotify and Apple. Anywhere you listen to podcasts, leave a review. Once you say them there, but we'll talk about that.
Give a review. Oh my god, listen to a review. Review us. Share us with your friends.
Yeah, don't do that.
We want to hear from you. What do you guys want to hear? If you guys are liking what we've done, we need to wrap up.
Okay, we're literally trying to wrap up. Leave a review.
We'd love to hear from you. And with that being said, that's all for this week of The Truth Runs Deep, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
This camera angle was bad.
Bye.